Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the most stressful deadline stream of the season, at least for me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but welcome. You can be stressed with me. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know. I think what is happening this week is you're in two camps. You are in the rolling, team looks good, I'm a sensible person, or you're in the, could rip up my team and buy Liverpool players, but who starts kind of camp. So I don't see many people that are just kind of like making like one easy transfer. It's like I'm either rolling because my team looks good, or I want to go crazy, and I'm on the crazy side. Big love to everyone. There is already a poll in the chat. You can see that the 4 moves that I am considering, 1, 2, 3, and 4, feel free to vote on them, and we will discuss them, of course, as well. And maybe I'll even plug them in for future weeks that you can see what it will look like. But yeah, it's a difficult one this week, for sure. For sure. I just need to work out if I want to buy Mohamed Salah, which I know a lot of other people wouldn't like, which is fine, you know. Does Frimpong start? I reckon could do. Some people are predicting him to start right wing. Some people are predicting him to start right back. But I've seen some people say that Szoboszlai will start right back. So I genuinely think you need to make your own predictions on Liverpool. Everyone seems to have a differing opinion on what Liverpool lineup will come out. Hello, Ross. Hope you are well. I need bench boost advice. Okay. Feels like a crazy week to bench boost, I'll be honest, just because of the amount of players that are doubts. But Kelleher, Verbruggen, well, that looks good. Virgil, Hill, Gabriel, Nico, Riley, and Nunes. Immediately, you've got 2 players there that you just don't know. But Bruno and Burmo, Szoboszlai, Ryan, Semenyo, Hugo, JP, Thiago. In any normal week, that is absolutely a bench boost team. And maybe you still play the chip. I'll just say that with so many teams, like 8 of the 9 Premier League teams didn't win their European games in the week. Going into the second legs, like we could see some players get complete rests. I'd probably say that most of those, other than if Nico O'Reilly or Nunes don't start, then neither of those I think would come off the bench. But the rest I think would come off the bench if they don't start. Maybe you go for it. I will just say, Dan, that's a brilliant team. So you should get a green arrow either way. Maybe go for it. Hi, Ross. I'm 312th in the world. Don't know how it's happened, but just want to say thanks for being you and helping me with the vids. You're more than welcome. I'm not even 312k. I'm double that in thousands, let alone 312th in the world. Big shout out to Tom then for that. Can anyone beat 312th right now? And truthfully, none of this nonsense. I'm first in the world. 5,000 Wyman. I've got your team. Bench boost advice. Wow. Well, how are people playing bench boost this week? I guess to be fair, their fixtures do align. Martinez, Dubravka, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Senesi, Chalobah. I guess not that. I guess Chalobah's okay for this week. Coyote, Cherky might not play. Bruno, Rice. I probably wouldn't. I would say. That's probably not quite a bench boost for me, 5,000 Wyman, just again for the same reasons that I just said with Dan. So I would say no, but I don't think it's far off. So if you've got a good feeling about Cherky starting, and you think the rest of your team looks okay, then maybe go for it. Roger says, hello, Ross. Sorry, long message. It's okay, Roger. I've got 2 hours. I'm here for you. Right, 1.1 million in the bank, 2 free transfers. A, Haaland, Guiu, to Ekitike captain, João Pedro, bench Rice or Dango. B, Semenyo Haaland to Salah captain Ekitike. C, the same as B, but João Pedro. And then D, Rice and Haaland to Verts, Ekitike, E, roll. I feel bad to just say this, Roger, but this is your decision. Like, I guess, let's say that you were playing a free hit, right? Let's say that you had a free hit this week. Who would you captain? I would start there. If you would captain Salah, then go for the Semenyo Salah sales. But I think selling Semenyo and Haaland, that doesn't feel, that feels like it could go horribly wrong. I think sensibly, the most sensible option there, I mean, the most sensible option is probably roll, but after that, it's probably option A, Haaland and Guiu to Ekitike and João Pedro. But it depends if you're chasing. Like, I'm looking at that now and thinking, am I going to gain that much by buying Ekitike and João Pedro, who are both going to be very highly owned assets? So if you're chasing B or D, If you're not chasing, A. If you want the sensible opinion and option, it's E. I still don't know what I'm doing, Roger, so I couldn't tell you what you should do because I've got similar decisions myself. But I think you should make decisions based on where you are and what you want to achieve, basically, I think. Why Munoz over Anderson? Just upside. Just upside, I think. He's got a slightly higher upside. And he's lower owned. I'm all about low owned, high upside players. I'm probably going to end up starting Krupi this week if I don't sell him. Not because I think he's great, but he's low owned and he's got high upside if he starts. So I just need to chase a bit right now for my own sanity, but also my rank. Hi, Ross. I hope you are well. I'm well, thank you, Chris. Doing Haaland to JP. Really stuck between Enzo to Salah and KDH to Verts. So you can only do one of them. Captain Ekatike, Salah, or Bruno. Cheers. Do I prefer Dewsbury Hall to Verts or Enzo to Salah? I think Dewsbury Hall's a great asset to own, and I quite like the high upside move with Salah. And I don't necessarily think that Verts is any more nailed than Salah for this week. So I would do the Salah move, but I would captain Bruno. Just for like making sure that your captain starts. Like, you really don't want your captain to be on the bench, do you? Hello, Ross. No idea what to do this week. Okay, I've got your team 8 pack. The last 3 are benched right now. So you've got Enzo, Alderete, Anderson on the bench. That looks about right to me. Yeah, I suppose you could make an argument to start Enzo over Wilson, maybe. But I'd start Wilson, I think. 1 free transfer and up to 8 mil if I replace Enzo. I suppose, but then you're just causing a benching. I was going to say you could do something like Enzo to Soboslai, but then it's just benching Wilson or Rodgers, probably. I think I would just roll the transfer of that team 8 pack, and I think you've got the benching decisions pretty spot on. You could make an argument to switch Anderson and Alderete on the bench, but other than that, I think you're good. Keen says, okay, I've got your team, Keen. Or Keanu? Keanu, probably, isn't it? Yeah, probably Keanu. 2 free transfers, all chips available, top 100k, I don't know what to do. Roll. Yeah, that's an easy roll. Such an easy roll. You've got 5 really good defenders there. You could even play a 5 at the back if you wanted to. No, I would absolutely roll the transfer there. If you wanted to get super aggressive, you could, of course, do like Haaland and Krupi to Ekatike and João Pedro. But that isn't something that's a necessity if you're top 100k. I think I would just leave it as is. Which 2 to start out of Rodgers, Hill, Wilson, Rice? Oh, that's a tough one. Wow. Ooh. I'd probably say Rodgers and Rice. I think the 2 R's, just about Matthew, but that's a very big benching headache for you. Verts looked a bit knackered midweek. Yeah, I don't feel as confident in Verts' minutes as some people do. I'll say that much. I'm not to say that he will be benched, but that's why I am not buying him this week, because I don't know. So, I mean, Ekatike, Salah are both risks as well. You could even argue João Pedro is a bit of a risk. Could Delap start this one? Absolutely. So, I'm not saying any of these will definitely happen, but there are a lot of players that are at risk for me. What are some potential weeks to play the bench boost? 36, 33... What other weeks look good? It depends on your team. You have to just go through and look at your team each week. And it all depends on when you play your chips as well. This is the point of the season, not to say that my advice is meaningless, because obviously I don't think it is. But it's still the point of the season where you need to incorporate my opinion and my feedback and whatever content creators you watch with your own plan. Because if I say I like 33 for a bench boost, but you don't have a wild card, or you're wild carding in 35. Well, maybe if you're wild carding 35, then 36 might be the bench boost week for you. Do you see what I mean? So I can give very general advice, but I can't give proper tailored advice to every single person. What are the chances of seeing FPL Pickle doing a deadline stream? She uses my office, my camera, my microphone. So very low. I would say the only time you'll see Pickle do a deadline stream is if we buy a house in the future which has multiple offices, which probably won't be the case. We'll probably still use the same stuff. Or if I'm really ill one week. Maybe if I'm super ill and I can't deadline a stream, then maybe she streams instead or something like that. But yeah, we use the same office. I just know Krupi's going to be benched as well if I keep him and start him. It'd be classic, won't it? Be classic. Alex has picked... Okay, I've got your team, Alex. 2 free transfers. What should I do? Chasing also tempting for Salah. The thing is with your team, which is slightly different, is you've got Ekatike. If I had Ekatike, would there be as much desire to sell Haaland? Maybe not. But you could go Haaland to João and Rice to Salah, absolutely. I don't know. I understand you're chasing, but you've got Soboslai, you've got Ekatike, you've got Sharda, who's differential enough. I think that's probably more of a role, that team, Alex, I'll be honest with you. But if you want to sell Haaland, I get it. Like, I'm tempted myself, so I understand. Shazam says, good morning, Ross. Thanks for the great streams this week. Been really useful for the nightmare selections. Big love. I really appreciate you as always, Shazam. Which one of these would you play? Chow, Anderson, or Wilson? Ooh. I think I'd rule out Chow, simply because I think Chelsea score. So he might get DEFCON. Of course, he could get an attacking return, but I think the upside isn't as high there. So Anderson or Wilson? I think I would start Harry Wilson, just about, but I think it's very close. Wilson, then Anderson, then Chow, I think. Have a great weekend, and thanks again for what you do. Big love, Shazam. I appreciate it, my man. Hopefully you have a fantastic weekend too. Bench 2 of Richards, Ryan, Wilson, Enzo, Rao. Bench 2. Probably Rao and Richards. I'd start Ryan, Wilson, and Enzo Fernandez. João Pedro is scoring. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Is Munoz fit? Don't know. Don't know. What are you going to do with Munoz? Probably just start him. Hope that he plays. The thing is, with Munoz, it's a shoulder injury, right? So if he's fit, it will start because it's Munoz. And if his shoulder hurts too much for him to start, what's the point in taking him on the... Like, I don't get... Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't get taking Munoz on the bench. I just don't think that makes a ton of sense. Again, with a shoulder injury. It's very different to, like, a muscular injury, where, like, he can't play 90, but he might be able to play 30. The shoulder's either healed or the shoulder isn't healed, I think. So if Munoz plays, great. I'm very happy to have Munoz. I think it's a good fixture. But if Munoz doesn't play, I'm very happy to have Anderson, as long as he starts, of course. Raul's father passed away a few days ago, so I don't even think he's in the squad. I did see that, yeah. I'm probably quite unlikely. I'm sure someone said that he did attend training afterwards, so maybe his perspective on it is he'd rather just play and focus on something else. But, yeah, probably not worth speculating on, in all fairness. Good morning, Ross. Good morning. Good to see you. It is still the morning, isn't it? Yeah, we've still got 18 minutes till it's the afternoon. So let me just do a little bit of just talking about my team, if that's okay. And I'm actually going to go over to Fantasy Football Hub. I think it's the easiest way to do this. So my team, pick and rate him. So, is this my team? No, this was the... Okay, let me reset. Yeah. Import. There is a link down below if you want to check out Fantasy Football Hub, as always. Right. So this is my team. Let me optimize the team. Let me predict a 1 game week. Save. So, let's say that I go for the Salah moves. We can have a bit of a look about what the team would look like. So, Haaland out. Ekatike in. Rice out. By the way, I'm not recommending anyone does this. But do you think we've slightly lost sight of what FPL was about? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you think back in the day, FPL used to be a game you play with your friends, you pick fun players, you transfer players in and out, you take hits sometimes, you bring in players that you want to own, you target fixtures, you don't look at ownership, you just play FPL. It's become... Do you know what? FPL, the way FPL is played now, and I understand that content creators are to blame for this as well, but it's almost played the same way as football. You know, like when you watch like Arsenal play, it's like, yeah, Arsenal are playing very well. They're optimizing the way that they play, but is it enjoyable? No. Kind of feel a bit about the same about FPL. I'm going to have a long, hard think about how I play FPL next season, but I might just play it for some fun, you know? You would never be saying this if you had 50k. I absolutely categorically would be. If you listen to Let's Talk FPL, he said he's not enjoying it. Oscar, FPL Focal, 25k, not enjoying it. Harry, top 100k, not enjoying it. It's nothing to do with my rank. It's absolutely categorically to do with... It's just, you play based on like fear, ownership, and playing optimally. So I guess what I'm saying is, whether you agree with that or not, it doesn't have to be a good transfer to bring in Salah. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Like let's all have some fun. But also, yeah, with my rank, then it doesn't matter too much if it goes wrong. 31 then, the team that actually looks pretty good. The only player I would say in my starting 11 for game week 31 that isn't a really good option is maybe Garner against Chelsea, but he's a DEFCON monster, and Chelsea do concede chances. So I don't hate the idea of having to start Garner, but I could, of course, sell like Krupi next week. I'll have 1.4 million in the bank, so I could do something like that. So that's an option. Then in 32, team looks great again, right? Gabriel would come in for Anderson, and Munoz would come in for Rodon. And obviously, Verbruggen would come in for Dubravka as well. So that's the team for 32, which looks really strong again. So I shouldn't need, unless there are, of course, loads could go wrong, but I shouldn't need a transfer in 31 or 32, which would mean going into 33, I'd have 3 free transfers, and I would free hit this week, free hit in double game week 33. And then going into 34, and this is again going under the assumption that Man City reached the semi-finals of the FA Cup, not City, this would be my team in blank game week 34. The only thing I would need to sort is I would not have, so Gabriel wouldn't have a fixture either, so I need to take him out, but I would not have a goalkeeper. Other than that, these 10 other players in the starting 11 should be fine for blank game week 34. So it would just basically be a goalkeeper switch. But I could also make a couple of other aggressive transfers as well. So that's where I'm at. That's the situation. I think it works very well buying Salah and Ekitike. I think it then looks good for 31. It then looks good for 32. And then it looks good for 34. So we'll have to see. There's a really sick quote that one of the developers of the game so Elijah is, and it's true for every game. Given the opportunity, players will optimize the fun out of the game. Yeah, basically. And I get it. Like, the aim of the game is to have fun, but it's also to try and win. And to try and win, you need to make good decisions. But I don't know. I've lost that spark. But I genuinely don't think it's my rank. Because, again, I speak to a lot of people that are doing very well. Like, very well. Top 10k, top 1k. And they kind of have the same perspective. So I know that's easy for me to sit here and say it's not because of my rank. I genuinely don't think that is the only reason. Of course, that plays a part. If you're not having a good season, you're not going to enjoy it as much. But I don't know. Like, what am I so scared of buying Salah and Ekitike? They get benched and they don't score points. Does it matter? Aaron, hi mate. Right, okay, I've got your team, Aaron. What are your thoughts? It's a shame. I reckon Somerville could have done okay in this game. It's a shame that Somerville is It's a shame that Somerville is on out for this week. But yeah, nice team. You got Hill and Richards on the bench. I like it. Obviously, I think you could potentially just start Hill instead of Ballard, but it's such a goal threat, I understand it. Yeah, great team. That's such an easy role if you've not already made a transfer. I like it a lot, Aaron. Bass, good to see you. It's been a little while. 3 free transfers, need to chase, currently 350k. I don't know that you need to chase that much at 350k. You've got Soboslai. There's a nice little differential pick there. Bench defense looks good. The only thing I can think of to chase with that team is Haaland and Krupi to João Pedro and Ekitike. But that's not chasing that much because those two are going to be very highly owned. So I don't know. I don't see anything there which massively stands out to me as a like maybe, and this is really chasing, but maybe Rice to Tavernier. I'd say Rice to Tavernier or the double switch of Haaland and Krupi to Ekitike and João Pedro. They're the only chasing moves I can think of, Bass. Somerville has been excellent. Shame, really. He really has. Like, so good. Not enough people have spoken about it. Myself included, by the way. I just kept thinking it's not going to continue. But a bit like Harry Wilson, you know. Somerville has scored some bangers. And you think, well, maybe it's not sustainable. But maybe he's just very good at football. Do you reckon Haaland starts, or should I sell both Semenyo and Haaland for Bruno and Thiago already? Got Ekitike and Pedro. Already got Ekitike and Pedro, okay. I reckon Haaland starts. Semenyo and Haaland versus Bruno and Thiago. Now, that is close. You get 2 penalty takers in Bruno and Thiago. I'd probably just keep Semenyo and Haaland. I think Haaland will start. I think Semenyo will start. I think Marmouche is probably benched again, even though he's been playing so well. Thiago captaincy is differential enough. He is very much due a haul. Yeah, I don't mind Thiago cap. I hope he does really well. As you say, he is definitely due. Take the -4 and go Haaland to Thiago and Rice to Salah to save the wildcard until 32 or wildcard this week. Neither. Neither? I don't understand why buying Thiago and Salah would save the wildcard as opposed to just Like, Haaland and Rice are fine. If it was for free, I would get it. I mean, but I don't understand the relationship between the wildcard and saving it. Surely you can make those moves next week if you wanted to when they actually blank. I don't think that's a necessity to make those moves this week, unless I've misunderstood something. MN Chuckster, good to see you, my friend. Hi, Ross. 4 free transfers. What do you think about Munoz Rice to Wirtz Vandenberg? Or I can roll, but at my awesome 2 million rank, I want to try and do something. Hope your Salah move works out. You and Pickle have a great weekend. Thank you very much, my friend. This is a good question. Wirtz, if Wirtz starts, I love this, but I do have my concerns. Like, Szoboszlai is a much safer pick, but maybe not as good of an FPL pick, but definitely starts every game. Like, Szoboszlai is a fitness monster. So you could do the same thing with Szoboszlai and Vandenberg, and then that's a bit safer. But yeah, if you want to chase the upside, I don't hate Wirtz. I also don't mind a punt on Gakpo, but I guess you're not just thinking for this week, you're thinking slightly longer term. Own 0 Liverpool, 2 free transfers, 500k rank and chasing. Wants to do something fun. Sorely tempted by Rogers Wirtz. Rogers to Wirtz and Anderson/Senesi to VVD. Team looks good this week and 31. The thing is with Anderson and Senesi, they're both just really good picks. I don't mind Rogers to Wirtz. I don't love it because I think Rogers is absolutely fine. But the Anderson/Senesi to Van Dijk, I'm a bit unsure. And Rogers to Wirtz, I don't mind as much. But listen, if you're chasing, you want your 2 Liverpool, go for it. On the flip side, Van Dijk is higher owned than Senesi and Anderson. So that doesn't really help you chase. You're just switching out slightly more differential options for a slightly higher owned asset. But yeah, Rogers to Wirtz is nice. Hi Ross, Rice to Tavernier and Mark Guiu to Thiago. Yes, I like that, Jack. I like that a lot. AI predicts White T. Says, hi mate, great stream. Thank you very much. You should consider Palmer. Great minutes and out of UCL soon. Also Pens. Good luck, man. Thank you very much. It's just the strategy that I'm currently thinking about having. I want a free hit in the double, and Chelsea will almost definitely double in 33, and then they're going to blank in 34. So Palmer just doesn't really suit my strategy as well as Liverpool assets. It's one of the reasons why buying João Pedro doesn't feel as great, because it just makes it a little bit more difficult for me, you know? Manuel says, hi Ross, opinion on single Haaland João Pedro not chasing? Then no. Probably wouldn't do that. Rodgers or Krupi bench? I would bench Krupi and start Rodgers. Is Haaland benched? Rob T City goal projections just plummeted, did they? I can look. I doubt that means anything. Didn't the same happen last week and Haaland wasn't benched? Oh, they didn't plummet. They dropped by 0.06. Yeah, 0.06 isn't exactly a plummet, I wouldn't say. Liverpool went up quite a lot. 2.63 projected goals for Liverpool. I reckon Gakpo starts getting less minutes to Rio, though. Yeah, maybe. The thing is, if Gakpo does start, who's on the bench? Wirtz? Ekatike? Salah? Don't know. Yeah, exactly. If they dropped by like a quarter of a goal or something, I'd be concerned. 0.06 isn't a plummet, I wouldn't say. Hi, Ross. When are you planning to wildcard? If Liverpool reach the semi-finals, I will wildcard in 33. If Man City reach the semi-finals of the FA Cup, I will wildcard in 35. So the Man City-Liverpool game will decide, but it'll be 33 or 35 I'm wildcarding in. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, not many likes so far, could you please smash that like button? It really helps me out. And make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed as of right now. Appreciate it. Hi, Ross. Would you do Munoz to Van Dijk or start Munoz or Vandenberg? Munoz to Van Dijk. Yeah. Oh, but you've got Munoz and Vandenberg both good. I still think I would do it. I would just get that done. Munoz to Van Dijk, I think is good. Would you start Semenyo or Munoz? Semenyo. I don't think Semenyo will be benched. Personally. Famous last words, but I can't see it. They have this weird setup, Liverpool, this season in midfield, where they tinker with the wide and narrow formation almost every week. I just think Slot doesn't really know what he's doing. I don't think he knows his best 11. I don't think he knows where to play certain players. He just seems a bit all over the place. -4 to bench boost Pickford, Hill, Anderson, Sepp, Chasing. That's a great bench, but I don't know who's in your 11. As long as your 11 players starting are nailed on, go for it. Haaland's 7 goals in the last 3 games against West Ham. Brave to transfer him out, especially given his form. Given his form? His form's in the bin. I understand he plays well against West Ham, but I don't think there's a relationship between that. And also, yeah, I don't understand the given his form point. Have I missed something? Not really. He's got no goals in his last 3 games. I didn't play against Leeds, I suppose. Do you know if Wilson will start? I don't know, but I would imagine the answer is yes. Thinking of doing option 1 now too, Ross. 2 free transfers and rank 1.2 million. Yeah, might as well just go for it. Ross, not sure if I remember asking you this in the member stream. If I do Guiu to João Pedro, my bench will be Dubravka, Richards, Alderete, and Rodgers. Should I do it or just roll? So it's basically like I would start Rodgers if you didn't. So basically, do you think João Pedro is much better than Rodgers this week? Maybe. Maybe. I would probably just do it. But I would put Rodgers first sub. Because it looks like he's third sub for you. Given his form against West Ham, I suppose. You can't call it form, though, if it's against West... Like, you can't call it form if the last time he played him was months ago. You know? What do you think of Tavernier as a differential captain? I like it a lot. Yeah, so form is recent run of games. You can't say his form against West Ham, I don't think. No wildcards. Sanchez to Becker or Rodgers to Wirtz. Roll. I'd probably just roll. Depends who as long as you've got Dubravka as a backup goalkeeper, I'd probably just roll. So you would do Guiu to João Pedro and bench boost. Well, it depends what the rest of your team looks like. I can't remember. But if you think the rest of your 11 start, that has to be a call that you make. Because I'm not predicting 15 players expected minutes for you. But as long as you are confident that your 11 players start, yes, that looks like a decent enough bench boost to me. Of course, I think if I hadn't used the bench boost, I would just save it for 33 now. Not that 33 is good, but it just... We at least know that it will be a double for 6 teams. So I would go for it then. Morning, hope you are good. I'm well, thank you, Sean. Bench 1 of Dango, Rice, Rodgers, Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, Ekatike, Thiago, Haaland. Good luck this week in whatever you choose. Thank you very much. I would bench... God, that's a tough one. Probably Dango. Right, you're not benching Haaland, Thiago, Ekatike, Bruno. So it's between Anderson, Rodgers, Rice, and Dango. I wouldn't bench Anderson right now. Defcon guaranteed and then some decent threat. It's probably Rodgers or Dango, but I think I would bench Dango. I think I'd start Rodgers. Sanchez and Dubravka are dire. I've had them since Game Week 24. Yeah. What Dubravka just gets like 1s and 0s half the time. Yeah, it's not great. You'd think he'd be getting stuff like this more often, like 5 pointers. But hey-ho. I'm sure I'll regret starting for Bruggen over Dubravka this week, but it is what it is. David Raya is having a baby. I don't think David Raya is. Yeah, he could miss a game for sure. It depends, though. Like, some dads, some players end up missing like a game or two, and they're out for like a week. And then some literally play the day after their partner gives birth. So it is very case dependent. And I would argue that with the position that Arsenal are in, knowing Arteta, I wouldn't be surprised if Raya doesn't miss a single game. I guess it depends, right, when she actually gives birth. If she gives birth like 8 hours before a game or something, then maybe. But assuming it's not on the day, then I wouldn't be surprised if he's fine. I might have missed your super chat. Let me have a look now. I did. Hi, are Dubravka, Rogers, Krupi, and Goodmanson worth a bench boost? Not for me, Starsky. I think that's a little bit too weak. I don't fancy a clean sheet for Goodmanson. Krupi might not start, and Dubravka I think will concede. So you would need Rogers to get double digits to like probably really make it worth it. Which he could do. I would just lean towards saying no, just about. Bench booster for... Bloody hell, everyone's bench boosting this. Bench booster for Bruggen, Enzo, Dallo, Hill. Verbruggen, Enzo, Dallo, Hill. That's a lot better. I would say, again, for that one, as long as your starting 11 feel pretty secure for minutes, that feels like a better bench boost to me. My mum said my dad watched Match of the Day 30 minutes after I was born. He's got his priorities right, you know. Got his priorities right. Is it fair to replace Enzo for Gibbs White? It feels like an unnecessary transfer to me, but if you're chasing, I don't mind it. I don't think Enzo Fernandez is bad. And not that I think Gibbs White's bad either, but it's like, I feel like you're transferring out like one 7 out of 10 player for like another 7 out of 10 player. Doesn't excite me that much. Jay says, hello, bud. Raya, Gabriel, Virgil, Mbermo, Bruno Rice, Dango, Ekatike, Haaland, Thiago. Bench of O'Reilly, Garner, and Mukiele. 2 free transfers. Haaland to Pedro, Rice to Salah. I have the exact money. I would say if you're more than 50 points off your rank target, I don't mind selling Haaland and buying Salah. If you're right where you need to be, 20 to 30 points off where you want to be, or you're protecting, there's absolutely no need to sell Haaland and buy Salah. If I was currently 50k, I probably wouldn't buy Salah and sell Haaland. But at some point, you need to make a decision to chase. So if you're in the same sort of position as me, Jay, go for it. Otherwise, I'd probably leave it. Again, guys, if you have just joined the stream, firstly, welcome. Please consider subscribing. Secondly, there is a poll right now in the chat for the 4 options that I'm considering with my team. Because I saw someone just ask what I'm currently planning. So yeah, they're the 4 options that I'm choosing between. I am going to make a double switch. I'm not going to roll the transfer. It's just which combination. As absolutely rightfully expected, option 2 is currently winning. The reason that the thing that's putting me off option 2, right, which is selling Haaland and Krupi to Ekatike and João Pedro, it's just buying 2 highly owned assets. Like Ekatike will be absolutely at least 80% because he was about 50 last week-ish. Lots of people are buying and lots of people are captaining. He might be more like 70, but he's already quite highly owned. João Pedro last week at my rank was 42%. Some people were captain, and he got a 19-pointer, so lots of people are buying him. I can't see Ekatike or João Pedro being below 60 to 70%. So even if both of them go big again, I'm not gaining as much. So I like other combinations, where in all of the other combinations, I'm either getting Salah or Szoboszlai or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm also buying a slightly more differential player too. So I'm not saying I won't do option 2, but that's the only thing putting me off is that it's buying highly owned players, which isn't really then by nature chasing. So I am still leaning option 1 at the moment, which is buying Salah. I don't know, people won't love it, but hey ho. Two questions. Would you do Rice to Verts this week? I probably wouldn't, just because I have some small doubts over Florian Wirtz's minutes, and Rice is just nailed on, right? I mean, I might sell Rice for Salah, which is kind of the same thing, but I've lost the plot and lost the will to go on with FPL, so that's me. Secondly, my defense is Gabriel, Van Dijk, Senesi, Chalobah, Anderson. Looks good. Need to start 3, but nervous about Anderson starts and Chalobah's points. Who should I bring in for Chalobah? Need to start 3. Or just start Gabriel, Van Dijk and Senesi. What am I missing? I don't think you need to make a transfer right now. I would keep Chalobah and Anderson. If you wanted to sell, I think Vandenberg, but you're not starting that person this week anyway, so you'd be making a transfer just for the sake of having a better bench option. And I think Anderson will go back into the 11. So I'm going to say I would just start Gabriel, Van Dijk and Senesi. And leave it there. Sean, thank you for becoming a Rap Tier 1 member. I appreciate it. Welcome. Saliba, Hill, Cunha, Krupi. Is that the correct order? Need 2. I quite like Cunha this week, though. I honestly think I would chase the upside and not start Saliba. But, I mean, Saliba does feel very nailed on for a clean sheet, I suppose. I would want to start Cunha. I think it could be a really good game for him against Villa. And I think he will start, would be my prediction. Ekatike captain is a no-brainer. Spurs have 0 players. Just the minutes is the only concern, right? If you promised me Salah or Ekatike played 90, I would captain them over Bruno in a heartbeat. If you made that promise to me, you said, right, Salah's going to get 90, I'd buy him and captain him. Same with Ekatike. Arguably, same with Florian Wirtz. If you could promise me a 90-minute attacker for Liverpool, I would captain them. Szoboszlai, the issue with Szoboszlai is he could play right back. He could start as the 10, then go to right back. And as a result, I just don't feel comfortable captaining a player like that. So, which leaves me then with Haaland. Haaland's the same thing. I don't know that Haaland will play 90. So I don't feel comfortable there. It's just almost like Bruno's just safe. But not safe in a boring way. Just safe in terms of the expectation is 90 with multiple routes to points, and I guarantee you'll get 90 with multiple routes to points. I'm not saying he will return, but you know that he'll create 2 big chances in this game. He'll take a couple of shots, and he'll take a few set pieces, at the very least. And he often does get 1 big chance. Like, that's what you know you'll get from Bruno. And again, it doesn't always translate to points, but it does just... He's so reliable and predictable, right? It's the opposite of unpredictable, I would say, Bruno. There's very few... Like, Bruno's probably dropped 3 stinkers this season, which is a lot fewer than most. Would you take 75 minutes? Okay, that's a good question. If I could guess the exact amount of minutes that someone will play, I would take... 75 worries me, because a lot of goals are scored in the final 15 minutes of games. I would... If you gave me 85 of Ekatike or Salah, I would take it. No lower than that, though. And that's why I'm not captaining them. Because I don't know that. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Omcar says, hello, Ross. Okay, I've got your team. 2 free transfers, 0.7 in the bank. What can I do? Also looking at Gameweek 31. Okay. I mean, the easy answer to that is roll. Anything again, the only thing that you can do is like sell Haaland and a defender. Like you could sell... No, I don't like that. I would just leave it, I think. Unless you're super chasing, then you can do the Haaland and Krupi switch. Haaland and Krupi to Ekatike and João Pedro gives you 2 extra players, essentially, for Game Week 31. Your team doesn't look much weaker this week. But I don't really want to keep suggesting that people sell Haaland unless they're in a position where they really need to and want to. You know, it's like, do as I say, not do as I do. I'm not saying to copy me and buy a sell Haaland. Like, I don't recommend people do that unless they really want to. Unless it feels right for you. Like, often I will say, I think I'm doing the correct thing on paper. Feel free to copy kind of thing. This isn't one of those times. I don't think Salah's great. It's a bit of fun. And FPL is so luck-based, right? João Pedro, 19 points against Villa. I don't care if João Pedro's in the form of his life. That's lucky. Like, all you need to do in FPL is to get lucky. So why not chance it with a low-owned Salah on penalties? Like, you're telling me Salah couldn't get 2 pens against Spurs? Of course he could. So you're just hoping to get super lucky with it. Which is why I wouldn't necessarily copy, Rice and Richards to Van Dijk and Tavernier. Vamos the egg. Vamos the egg. That should be my new catchphrase, motto. Would I do Rice and Richards to Van Dijk and Tavernier? I like Rice and Richards this week, though. But I do prefer Van Dijk and Tavernier. And both of them blank in 31. I don't mind that, actually, as a set of transfers. I think you could also just do both of those in 31 and it'd be absolutely fine as well. Thorinho, low-scoring week, 48 versus 46 in the feud. I sold Haaland right after the match. Wife is holding, so this could be season-defining game week for us. Got the man flu, so I guess we are all in Team Wife's corner. So, maybe I'll sell Haaland with you, Thor. And then if Haaland does well, at least your wife can finally have a week that's better than you. You know? That's the silver lining of Haaland smashing it. 2 free transfers. Should I do Evan Nilsson and Rice/Rogers to Ekatike and Tavernier? Evan Nilsson and Rice/Rogers to Ekatike and Tavernier. Oh, selling Evan Nilsson ahead of Burnley when you've kept him this long. Do I think Evan Nilsson is good at football? No. Do I think he could score against Burnley? Yes. I'm going to say I don't think I would do that. I think I would just keep Evan Nilsson and Rice/Rogers. Yeah, I don't think I would. It's very tempting. But I don't think I would do it. Backstar says, is this a bench boost team? Kelleher, Verbruggen, Gabriel, Timber, O'Reilly, Lacroix, Chalobah, Rice, Anderson, Fernandez, Enzo, Wilson, Krupi, Haaland, Thiago. I'm going to say no, I wouldn't. I'd bench Verbruggen, O'Reilly, Chalobah, and Krupi. Yeah, considering I didn't find it that hard to say who you should bench. Listen, it's not a bench boost team. I just don't think it's quite there. I'm not feeling excited enough about that, I would say. Doomball says, I'm in the same position as you, chasing. I've used my wildcard, but I have 4 free transfers and my free hit. Team looks okay this week, but thinking about Haaland and Krupi out. 4 free transfers. You've used your wildcard. Selling Haaland and Krupi, I think, is absolutely fine to do in your position. It leaves you open in terms of chip strategy. It leaves you having a good-looking team this week. I absolutely think that's fine to do, especially given you're chasing, for sure. Just bear in mind, if you don't free hit in 33 and Haaland doubles, you'll want to go and then buy Haaland back probably for game week 33. So it might be something you have to reverse in a few weeks, but we don't know that because we haven't seen the FA Cup quarter-final games. Haaland and Enzo/Sar to João Pedro and Wirtz -4. Haaland and Enzo/Sar to João Pedro and Wirtz -4. See you later. Be safe. No. I wouldn't do that, I don't think. No, I don't think so. For a hit, if it was for free, Jimmy, I'd be tempted, but not for a hit. Bass, it's good to be back. Been busy with work. Still big love for all the content. Thank you very much, Bass, and I hope work is going okay for you. Who should I start? Virgil, Richard, Senesi, Gabriel. Could also bench Wilson because of the doubts of the 4-4-2. I would just bench Richards. I'd start Virgil van Dijk, Senesi, and Gabriel. I still think Palace aren't quite there right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't clean. Don't want to burn a transfer. 0.1 in the bank. Thinking Chow to Collins. Thoughts? I'd probably go Vandenberg. Collins still worries me a little bit with the minutes. So, yeah, I would go Vandenberg. Was that Pickle? That was Pickle. Yep, she's off to watch some football with her dad, so she has left the building. Left the premises. Yeah. So I think right now I'm just going to buy Salah is the plan at the moment, but we will see. At the moment, I'm surprised. 37% of you have gone for the Salah option. 39% for the João Pedro option. It's quite close. I thought people would much prefer the João Pedro option. But I guess you've taken into account the fact that I'm chasing, you know? Let me know if you see anything in terms of early team news, by the way. Ross, why Ross, why but JP over Eki? Where have I said João Pedro over Ekitike? I'd rather Ekitike. He suits my strategy more. It all comes down to strategy, which some people won't have thought about. Therefore, it makes it difficult to try and answer based on that. But you need to work out roughly when you think you'll be playing your chips would help a lot. And the predictions based off of that. And if you've got no idea, you should have been watching the content throughout the week because I tried to explain all the permutations. Why is Salah an option and not Palmer? Bang on that. The timing of that question couldn't have been any better because Salah suits my strategy better at the moment. Palmer doesn't. Risking Krupi ahead of Munoz. Fair. I'm probably going to start both of them, which is fun. I say fun, not really fun, is it? Oh. I want to switch these and these. Do we think I've got my bench order correct? Who would you start in terms of... Who would you start in terms of Krupi, Anderson, Garner? I need to start one of them. I think I just risk it with Krupi, right? Chase the upside. RH says, I'm chasing 20 points behind first. I've got Kelleher, Kadioglu, Van Dijk, Nunes, Mbeumo, Gakpo, Sharda, Semenya, Haaland, Ekitike, João Pedro on the bench with one free transfer. Do I roll or go big? And the guy at the top also has Bruno. You're only 20 points behind. 20 points isn't... You don't need to chase right now. I would, for now, mate, I would basically pick players that you think will get the most points. And that's not obvious, but basically, I think with 20 points between you, with 9 weeks left, you don't need to make decisions based on risking it and going big kind of thing. I would say if you're 20 points behind with 4 weeks left, then you do. Or if the gap extends to 30 or 40, then you need to start risking it. That would be my advice. But I think your team looks good. You've got some differential players in there. You've got players with good fixtures. I don't see a need for a transfer. The only thing I would say is your defense doesn't look perfect. And obviously, I love Bruno Fernandes, so that would be the only thing there. Garner is guaranteed 4 points, probably better than Anderson. I wouldn't say guaranteed. He doesn't get DEFCON every week. I could definitely switch Garner and Anderson. If it was anyone other than Arsenal, even if it was like Chelsea or even Man City, I'd be very tempted to start or put first sub Garner. Agnibar, good to see you. Hello, Ross. My team. Got your team? Used one free transfer for Haaland to JP as I'm chasing. One free transfer left, 7.5 thoughts. Plan is to wildcard 32. I think Rice to Salah, you could do for sure. Or roll. Maybe Mane to... I'll just give you a benching 8. I was going to say maybe Mane to Thiago, but yeah, that gives you a benching 8, doesn't it? I think it's either Rice to Salah or roll, the second transfer. Mr. IRN Bro says, Rice and O'Reilly for Wirtz and another defender. Rice and O'Reilly for Wirtz and another defender. No wildcard left and got 7 players blanking at 31 right now. Just about clawed my way top of my mini league. I don't mind that. If you've got no Van Dijk, I would go Van Dijk. If you've got Van Dijk, maybe Vandenberg isn't a terrible option. Or, I'm trying to think of what defenders I wouldn't mind for the next 2. Maybe Bassi or Tete. Tete, Bassi, Vandenberg, someone like that. Depends. I don't know what the rest of your team looks like, in all fairness, Mr. IRM, bro. If I knew that, it would probably be a bit better. Owen Mills says, okay, I've got your team. Bench, yep, chasing 54 points, but I think it's best to roll. It's a lovely team, though, right? You've got Ryan in there, which is nice. You've already got Ekitike. Your defense is good. Gabriel Van Dijk. I would agree. that you can roll that transfer. It depends on how many free transfers you've got, Owen, and how much you have in the bank. But that's certainly not a bad team. And I don't have an issue with rolling a team like that. Everton have had 11 days off. They had 11 days off. Wow. How big of a rotation risk would you say Haaland and Timber are? I would say Haaland. I would give Haaland an 80% chance of starting. And I would give Timber a 65% chance of starting. I think Timber is more of a rotation risk than Haaland, but I would still predict both start. If Calvert-Lewin doesn't start, I have no bench cover. Could transfer Cash, Mukiele, no wildcard. I do think DCL not starting is a possibility. I would probably say Cash. I'd rather sell than Mukiele. Mukiele's fantastic once he's back. You should set up Discord to do team reviews. Yeah, I do team reviews on the stream, or I've got membership tiers where you can send me your teams. So I did have a Discord at one point, but it was just way too much to try and manage it on top of everything else, you know. I am only human. Do you think Semenyo starts? I would predict so, yeah. MJM, Verbruggen, Dubravka, Gabriel, Virgil, Alderete, Dallo, Cash, Bruno, Semenyo, Rogers, Wilson, Rice, Haaland, Thiago, DCL. Nice. Who to bench? And should I sell Rice/Rogers to Anderson/Gibbs-White? Thank you for your help. I probably wouldn't sell Rice or Rogers to one of those two, no. Who should you bench? I think just because there are slight doubts over his minutes, probably DCL, then Alderete, then Cash. DCL, Alderete, and Cash would probably be the ones I bench. Is Rice to Verts for free a good idea now? Thanks. I'm going to say I wouldn't sell Rice to Verts. My prediction is that Verts will be benched, which is famous last words, because I think I'm going to buy a Katike and the Salah, and they're probably going to be the ones that are benched. But I don't know. I think just come back from an injury, looked a little bit leggy midweek. They've got Gakpo who can play off the left. They can play Soboslai in the 10. Yeah, I'm a bit unsure. It's so difficult to try and predict Liverpool right now, isn't it? Please don't spam the messages. Makes me less likely to want to answer if someone's put the same message in chat 400 times. I'm looking at you, Ali. Bench Anderson or Richards? I'd bench Richards, I think, and start Anderson. Right, Ali's not listening. Ali's just spamming the message rather than listening. Put user in time. Ali, you're on a 5-minute timeout. Would you sell Haaland for Bruno and Ekatike with 1.5 million left over? Haaland for Bruno and Ekatike. Well, I don't know what midfielder you're selling, but getting Bruno and Ekatike, yeah, I think I would. Rots, what's your percentage chance of Krupi starting? Honestly, 50. It's probably him or Christie, right? You'd imagine Tavernier, Ryan, and Evan Nilsson start. So there's one spot left for Krupi or Christie. So I would give him a 50, maybe 49% chance of starting. I think Spurs will fight hard. Same with Hammers. Not easy beating teams fighting for survival. They've been fighting for the last 10 weeks. It's not helped them. I really, truly think there is something very flawed in the argument that because a team are fighting, they're going to be harder to beat. If that was the case, then like relegation teams would just go on absolute storming runs. I think when you're fighting, you play a bit more nervously and you're not really confident. I think that's more of a concern for me than the fighting aspect. I get what you're saying, though, for sure. I don't disagree with the psychology behind it. I just think they're still not very good. Timber or Ryan to start? I'd start Ryan, I think. Chasing, Captain Haaland or Semenyo, please. Best Eggy. I mean, Semenyo's not that lower owned than Haaland, but he's definitely the more differential option. Probably Semenyo if you're chasing. Polkit, I've got your message, my friend. I've got your team. 2 free transfers, 0.9 in the bank. Tips, 45 points away. Roll. Yeah, that's an easy roll. You've got such a good team there. You've got Senesi and Enzo on the bench. You've already got Thiago and Ekatike. You've got Frimpong as a nice differential. Like, I look at that and there's nothing that I think you can really do to massively gain this week. I would give it one more week and then attack from next week. This is probably the only week this season where I've had no idea what to do. Oh, there have been quite a few weeks where I've not known, but this is definitely a difficult week to decide, isn't it? Chasing, but I still think Haaland is the best cap. Haaland won't be as highly owned as he usually is, so if you think Haaland's the best cap, just cap Haaland. It'll be like 140, I would say. It would be my prediction. So you'll still gain 60% of his points if you captain him, which is enough to still gain. I've captained Ekatike. Would you sell and CT Haaland? I don't understand the message. I've captained Ekatike. Would you sell and CT Haaland? Is CT captain? And who are you selling? I don't really understand the message. I'm very sorry, RHM. Not knowing what to do is sometimes a good sign to roll. Possibly. Yeah. Do you know what? Possibly. On the flip side, sometimes you don't know what to do because you have lots of options. And I don't think then as a result you should say, well, I'm not going to do any of them. I'm just going to roll. So I agree. Sometimes it's like, if I'm not sure, when in doubt, do nothing. But sometimes you are in doubt because you have lots of really nice options and it's trying to choose which one to do. It's difficult to work out which is the case. Is Kroopy playing? Probably not. I've got Kroopy's minutes wrong every week. I do think there's a good chance Kroopy's sat on the bench for this game. So, we'll see. Does he normally play the easier games, the more difficult games? Is there any pattern to it? So he's benched against Everton, benched against Brentford. He was benched against Burnley earlier this season. That's a nice sign, isn't it? Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. Why is everyone really concerned about me benching Anderson? What have I missed? Is Forest away? He hasn't been very good. He didn't start the last 2 games. 0-1, 2-4, 0-0. I don't know what I've missed, but everyone's like, how are you benching Anderson? You know? He wouldn't be 4.5 if there's a pattern. Yeah, that's true, Danny. That is true. Haaland just got a new haircut. Sell? I don't think he did. Did he? I think that was a meme. Haaland loves playing at West Ham. He will definitely score. I don't really buy these narratives. I'm not saying that he can't score, but I don't like the this player plays well against this team narrative. I don't buy into that too much. There's something behind it, for sure. Listen, Haaland will probably score a hat-trick this week, but then at least I can officially say season over, you know? Are Munoz and Wilson fit? Wilson, I think, is. Munoz, I'm less sure about. Okay, I've got your team. Thinking Rice to Verts and O'Reilly to someone. Yeah. I don't know that you need to make those moves this week. They feel like better moves to make next week. I would probably leave it one more week and make the moves next week. Because next week, O'Reilly is a fine sell because he blanks. Rice will be a really easy sell because he blanks. Verts, you'll have a bit more information on. Yeah. I probably would leave those moves, mate. Got to use free transfers to field 11. Long-term replacement for cash. Hill, Van Dijk, Vandenberg, Bassi. Probably one of those. Are you definitely doing some moves then, mate? Yeah, I'll be doing one of the 4 moves in the poll. If you open up the poll at the top of the chat, that's my list of options. Do team news. I don't have any team news. I can't just make up team news on the spot. You know? I wish I could. Don't get me wrong. That'd be useful. What's up, Ross? Hope you are well. I am well, thank you, my friend. What's the latest on Haaland, and do I start Rodgers or Wilson? I would start Wilson but I really like Rodgers this week. What's the latest on Haaland? Nothing. I think he's fine. He's fit. He'll probably start. He's just not been very good recently. So it's just whether you think he'll be good again. You know? Tavernier captaincy chasing like crazy right now, 900k. I feel with more data and AI, FPL has taken a bad hit. Let's call it the Arsenal effect. I said something similar. I don't necessarily think it's... I don't know if it's definitely not AI, because I don't think AI really exists in FPL. It's just algorithms. I don't even know if it's necessarily that. I just think it's so... I don't know, it's like the general consensus is like you can't do anything that's different or fun. Like I say I'm buying Salah in the comments, like, you crazy, you don't watch football. Like how can you sell Haaland? And it's just like, so as soon as you try and do something different, there's such a mass hysteria that's like, how are you doing something that isn't what everyone else is doing? I think that's more of a concern for me. Like when I see people post stuff on social media, they're like, oh, I think social media has killed FPL slightly. That's probably the overarching issue. Because without social media, we don't know what a lot of stuff is happening, right? It's because you can just easily access so many people's opinions. Captaincy preference, Thiago, João Pedro, Salah, Ekitike, or Semenyo. I probably would prefer Salah from those options. But if you want safety of minutes, probably just go Thiago. Any chance of City team news? There is, there's an option. Yeah, there's a possibility. If we do, it will be lazy FPL. But remember, they don't play until later tonight. So there is also a good chance. There is also a good chance that we don't get anything. Just trying to see if I can see anything here. How are you doing, Ross? I'm doing well, thank you. No idea what to do with my team, but that's okay. Why has nobody mentioned Palmer? I think Palmer's nice. It doesn't suit my strategy, but I think if he suited my strategy, I'd be very tempted. Would you not say that Munoz having a recent injury is just as likely to reduce his minute/start, similarly to Timber, for example? No, because it's a shoulder injury. I've tried to explain that with a shoulder injury, it doesn't affect your fitness. It doesn't affect... It's not like a niggle in a muscle where you think you could like turn and... like if he's fit, it will start. And if his shoulder is still causing him issues, I just don't think he'll play at all. It doesn't make sense to play someone for 20 minutes with a shoulder injury, I wouldn't say. Like that would be my belief. But I could be so off on that. He could be sat on the bench. You never know. Hopefully he's either not in the squad or starts. That would be my hope. Don't have my wild card. Is it risky to get rid of Haaland without it? I would say it's risky to get rid of Haaland and spread the funds around your team without a wild card. So if you're selling Haaland, I'd buy Salah. Or keep money in the bank. Like what you want is if you sell Haaland and you don't have a wild card, is you need to make sure that you're in a position where if you want to get Haaland back, it's 2 transfers maximum. You don't want it to be like you have to make 4 transfers to downgrade 3 players to get the funds to go back to Haaland. And that's an issue at that stage. So you just need to leave yourself flexible for future moves. Have some fun with salary. Probably will not be here next year. I just think realistically, my season is not going to be a good one. Even if I have the best end to the season, I might get top 100k. But it's still going to be my worst season for 5 years. Right? Last 4 years in a row, I've not finished outside the top 50k. This is going to be my worst season. Yeah, let's attack it and have a bit of fun. You know, it's really not the end of the world if it goes wrong. Would the shoulder problem not reduce the minutes, even to protect him? Maybe. Maybe. But if he comes off in the 60th minute, or 61st minute, great. Hopefully he'll bank the clean sheet, you know? I don't mind, as long as he makes it to 60. I suppose he could re-aggravate the shoulder injury or something like that, but I don't know, I think I'd rather just start Munoz. I don't think Anderson's got enough upside for me to start Anderson. Is there a problem with Jimenez? Sadly, Raul Jimenez's father passed away earlier this week. So that's why people have been speaking about Raul Jimenez. As expected, and I'm glad people aren't really probing into terms of whether he'll be fit and available, whether he'll play, whether he'll be... whether he'll be available for the game. So I would assume no, but I guess you never know. You missed my super chat, pal. Did I? Oh, 2 free transfers. Rodgers and Obi. Yeah. To Tavernier and Ekatike. And bench Wilson. Or just roll and play Wilson, Anderson first bench. I mean, it's tempting, but I think I would just play Wilson. Doing both of those moves, like that feels like too... Hey, man, do you know what? I'd be tempted. The thing is, I don't like benching Wilson. I love Tavernier and Ekatike. Great transfers in. Rodgers and Obi, fine, whatever. But Wilson's great. So I think I'll just play Wilson, but it's very close. Mate, would you do Wirtz and Tavernier in for KDH and Rodgers? Don't have any Liverpool. Ekatike is only possible with a hit. Wirtz and Tavernier in for KDH and Rodgers. If you're having to play KDH this week, then maybe. I don't hate that as a set of moves. I just think that Rodgers and Dewsbury Hall are both actually decent players, though, to have. I would do it if you're having to start Dewsbury Hall this week. Yes. Florin says, Henderson... Okay, I've got your team. And no question. I guess you're just asking what I think of it. Nice. I'm very jealous that you've got Enzo Lafi. You've got a nice midfield, strong defence. You've got João Pedro in there. Got a strong bench as well. That's just an easy rolled transfer, Florin, I think. CPFC 197. Bench boost or bench who? It's a strong team. It's a very strong team, isn't it? I just think with Munoz being a doubt, I don't know that I could commit to the bench boost, but that's not far off. That in terms of the 15 players, CPFC, that is a bench boost. Yeah, absolutely. If you promised me that all of them start, I would definitely bench boost that. But I don't know, like Ekatike's minutes could be reduced. You might get a complete rest, you never know. I suppose Munoz is the only real doubt there. You're a Crystal Palace fan, I assume, based on CPFC. So if you think Munoz gets minutes, bench boost. If there are doubts for you, then I just don't think you can. And then who you bench, you probably bench Rodgers, Dubravka, probably Munoz and Alderete. Start two and bench. What is B.O. Rodgers? Start 2 and B.O. Rodgers. I don't even know what that means. Sure. Rodgers, Anderson, Wilson, Richards, Alderete. I would start probably Anderson and Wilson. Johnny says, I came off all social media months ago. Best thing I've done in a very long time. Put down the screen, guys. Life for a living. Oh, Hugo Cap Spurs in the bin. Big love. Honestly, if I didn't create content on for a living, like it's my job, I wouldn't be on social media. I agree. I don't gain much like joy from being on social media. It's just really good for FPL info, right? I would think I would miss out on a lot of info if I wasn't on the social media. And also, I do enjoy interacting with you guys as well. But I feel like my favorite time to interact with you is via YouTube, to be honest. So, hello, should I sell Haaland to João Pedro if I don't have a wild card anymore? Deal with 33, 34, or deal with keeper woes first? I have Roos and Dubravka. The thing is, Dubravka's fine this week, and Roos might be back next week. I would say neither, because when you don't have a wild card, it's probably best to just keep Haaland one more week and assess what happens. It could still be that their fixture goes into 31. It might be that Haaland doesn't even blank next week. It might also be the case that they double in 32. It might be that they don't double at all in 33 and they actually double in 36. Like, we don't actually know yet. So I think in the position of no wild card, I'd probably go with keeping Haaland one more week. Mises Piero says, hi, Big Ross. Need your sharp analysis on this. 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank, no wildcard, no triple captain. Okay. Transfers. Haaland to João Pedro and maybe Dewsbury Hall to Verts and roll till 33. Free hit 33, roll 34. 4 free transfers 35, bench boost 36. So in terms of a general plan, love it. If I had no wildcard left, I'd be doing exactly the same thing with the same chip strategy. So then the question comes, is it worth doing Haaland to JP and Dewsbury Hall to Verts this week? I still think you could roll the team this week and maybe make a couple of moves next week and still stick to the same plan. So I think I would lean that way. Same exact plan, but just don't know that you need those 2 transfers this week. I'd probably rather do them next week. Bring João Pedro or Krupi over Evan Nilsson or roll. I'd probably roll. I think Evan Nilsson will start as the 9 and it's Burnley. So I think I'd give Evan Nilsson one more week. And then you can always buy João Pedro for 31 if you want to. Thrill says bench 2 of O'Reilly, Trufer, Verts, Ryan, Mbermo, Dango. If you can bench 2 defenders, probably Trufer and O'Reilly, I think. Yeah, I like your attackers, I think, in that case. I'm a mini league manager and want to win all 3. I'm first place in 2, but very close to second, and second in the other 3. Over rank 106k. Cheers, mate. Will that change my opinion of what you should do? Not really. I still think the same plan overall. But yeah, hopefully you win your mini leagues. Keep me updated throughout the season, throughout the rest of the season. Only 9 weeks left, by the way, guys, if you haven't seen. 9 game weeks. Every single game week is over 10% of the rest of your season. You need to make them count. Bench, question mark, Semenyo, Mbermo, Bruno, Rice, Dango, or Eki. Bench one of them. Dango or Rice. I think I would bench there. Dango or Rice. Probably Dango, maybe Rice. That's a close one. Mbermo or Sarr, and why? To buy, captain, sell, bench. I'd prefer Mbermo, I think, overall. I just think this sort of game against Villa will suit him. Captain Ekatike or Palmer. I think Ekatike is the better captain if he gets 80 plus mins, but if you have any doubts, I think Palmer will start this one. So I don't mind Palmer captain, actually. Start Rodgers or Anderson. I would start Rodgers. Hitik, I've got your team. Thinking of Rice to Rodgers, Elliot Anderson next game week. Keep up the good work, Egg. I like that move next week. I'm thinking about maybe doing Rice to Rodgers next week if I don't sell Rice this week. Nice team. Yeah, really good. Yeah, lovely. Easy roll. Easy roll. Nice team. Good plan. And I wish you the best of luck, Hatik. Very nice. How long we got? We have got 45 minutes till the deadline, so still plenty of time. Avid says, hello, mate. I hope you're well. For Bruggen to start or Dubravka this week? Look at my team, Avid. Look at my team, and that will answer your question. I'm starting for Bruggen. I just think Bournemouth score. I mean, Sunderland probably score as well. But if you was to say, put all of your money, which I don't gamble by the way, but put all of your money on Sunderland scoring or Bournemouth scoring, I would put it on Bournemouth. So that tells me that I should probably start for Bruggen. Hello, Ross. Overall 24k. 2 free transfers. Munoz and Wharton to Van Dijk and Stack. Munoz and Wharton to Van Dijk and Stack. Quite like that, actually. Yeah, I'd be happy enough to do that. I think they're nice moves. And also, at such a good rank, Van Dijk is quite highly owned, so it protects you a little bit there as well. Cheers, mate. It's Avi, by the way. Okay. Avi Dixit. Avid. Okay, Avi. Hello from West Country FPL Meetup, here with FPL Joel. Joel? That's Joe. Oh, FPL Joe. Okay. It's like Joel, Joe. Good to see you, cats. Hope you are well. Hope you are well. Chris, as always, in the chat saying dog farts. Chris Harris, 9904, has been in every single live stream for the past 2 seasons and just says dog farts. I don't think Chris is... Chris, have you ever said anything else? Chris, say something else. Go on. Surprise me. Say something other than dog farts in the chat. I'd love to see it. It does make me smile every time I see it. It's just such a random message, you know? Ryan or Richards? Ryan. What's your take on Haaland and Rodgers for JP and Palmer next game week? The chat's distracting me. Someone said fart dogs. No. Chris just said dog farts. Yeah, Chris is a man of few words. Chris just really just cares about dog farts. What's your total points at the moment? I think it's 1,666. Which isn't a good omen, is it? Really? Got to drop off, but good luck, Captain. Thank you again for the wildcard, but it was really useful. And I hope you and the wrap tubs of ice cream have a wonderful game week. You too, Moon Kitty. Thank you for being here. Wilson or Bowen? Ooh, I'd still go Wilson. I do like Bowen coming up, though, for future weeks. I might end up picking up Bowen at some point. You never know. Keep or sell Enzo? I would be pretty happy to keep Enzo unless there's someone that you would like to bring in instead. You know, like if there's a move you really like, go for it. He's one of those where he's an okay sell, but a very okay keep too. Start Rodgers or Anderson? Rodgers. Is Gibbs White a good pickup? Yeah, I quite like the Gibbs White transfer. What moves are you making? As of right now, Haaland and Rice out for Ekatike and Salah. This is going to be make or break this game week. And when I say make, it still doesn't help me that much at my rank. But like this is going to be the week where I either decide, we just trundle along to the end of the season, or it's going to be give me a bit of a spark, get me back to 500k, you know. I almost want/need... I almost want/need a big game week, like huge, or a terrible game week. Like I can't really... Another sort of grey arrow is the opposite of what I need. I need it to go crazy, or I need it to go terribly. So if it goes terribly, I'll just take it on the chin and then I'll say, okay, it's one of those things, you know. Who'd you bench, Munoz or Wilson? I would start Wilson ahead of Munoz. Bench 3 and order. Wilson, DCL, Anderson, Krupi Jr., Lacroix. I would start Wilson. I would start Anderson. And I would start Lacroix. And then I would have DCL and Krupi on the bench in that order. No, I think I'd start Krupi ahead of Anderson. If you're chasing, I'd start Krupi. If you're protecting, I'd play Anderson. So I would start Wilson, Lacroix, then Krupi, then Anderson, then DCL. The only reason with DCL is apparently he's a bit of a doubt, and I just don't know if I'd want to take that risk. Salem says, I have 2 free transfers. Sell Haaland for Pedro and Ekatike, or just roll. Sell Haaland for Pedro and Ekatike. So I assume you're selling like Krupi or something instead. My front 7 is Tavernier, Njai, and Burmo, Bruno, Rodgers, Haaland, Thiago. So if you did that, you'd be benching Njai, I guess. So Haaland and a cheap striker to Pedro and Ekatike, and then bench Njai. If you're chasing Salem, I like that or not. If you're not chasing, then there's no need to do that. I would just keep it as is. Hello, mate. Thoughts on starting Wilson versus Anderson? If that's Elliot Anderson, I think I would start Elliot Anderson. If it's Joachim Anderson, I think I would start Wilson. I don't know if you spelt it correctly or incorrectly, you know. I never know what people mean exactly. The top 3 defenders transferred in probably all blank in 31. People don't plan ahead. This is why it's so frustrating when you have a bad season, because you're like, I'm being beat by people that don't even know what game week's coming up, like what blanks and doubles coming up, you know. Hey, Ross, forgot to ask in the last super chat. Bench 2 out of Enzo, Wilson, Chow, Van Hecker, Anderson. I would bench Chow and Van Hecker from those options, Hatik. Definitely Chow. You could bench Anderson to start Van Hecker, but I think I'd bench Chow and Van Hecker. Hi, Ross. Bench 1, Munoz, Hill, Rogers, and Wilson. Thank you. Ooh, tough one. I'd probably bench Munoz. I'd start Hill, Rogers, and Wilson there, Jay Sandy. I always spell correctly, mate. Anderson it is. Yeah. That's what I like to hear. We love people that spell correctly, don't we? Makes my life easier when you spell correctly. I just have to assume that people spell incorrectly, though, for a number of reasons. Firstly, people just don't care, which is fair. People, it's not their first language, which is absolutely fair as well. Or just typos. You know, these things happen. So I have to try and say, like, if you mean this, then this. But if you mean this, then that, you know. Hi, Rush. Trying to decide what to do this week. All chips. 2.3 in the bank. Dubravka, Chow, Senesi, Gabriel, and Burmo, Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, Rice, Dango, Ekatike, Thiago. A bench of Sanchez, Calvert-Lewin, Esteve, and Mukiele. 2.3 in the bank. Oh, you're not telling me how many free transfers you have, though, Josh. What would I do with that team? So what stands out to me with that team? Good midfield. Good front line. Bad defense overall, right? So I wonder if you make a defensive transfer this week with 2 points. Like Esteve to Van Dijk. Yeah, I would do that. Esteve to Van Dijk. Easy move. Something like that. You could sell Chow, but the thing is, after this week, Chow looks decent. I think Esteve to Van Dijk and bench Chow would be my move, Josh. You got 4 free transfers. Okay. Yeah, I still think that would be my move, and then I'd roll the rest. Yep. Esteve to Van Dijk can roll. Start Wilson or Rogers. I've gone back and forth on this all stream. My gut feeling tells me Rogers is good this week, but I think Wilson is the better pick right now. So I think I'd start Wilson, bench Rogers. But I would like to start Rogers if you have the opportunity to. Garner and Haaland to Salah and JP. And Sanchez out for a hit. Quite like that, to be fair. Yeah, if you're chasing, yes. If you're not chasing, then there's no need to do that. Finn. Okay, I've got your team, Finn. Keep it simple. Hall to Munoz / other defender or something more pressing. Hall to Munoz. I like Hall. No, I like Hall. I think next week you'll be very glad to have Hall. So I wouldn't sell Hall. Chasing 100 points, 5 free transfers, 0.2 in the bank. Okay, right. What could you do with that team? You got 0.2 in the bank. It's a great team. Really good team. Oh, what could you... I don't know what your bench is. Surely you've got someone on your bench that you can sell instead. I don't like selling Hall. But if you can sell a bench defender so that you can bench Hall this week, Finn. Like, if you've got someone on your bench that you can sell, start them, the player that you buy. Like, let's say you buy Hill or you buy Vandenberg. Start them, bench Hall, and then I think next week you'll be very happy to have Hall. It's a great team to have with 5 free transfers, though. GGP says, sell Haaland to Ekatike and Mane to João Pedro for a -4 and then bench Rogers or just roll. Or just spend 1 free transfer, pick for De Kelleher or start Dubravka. I would start Dubravka and I would roll. I'd just start Rogers, to be honest. Unless, again, you're very keen to get Ekatike and João Pedro. Is Haaland starting? I would predict yes. I don't know, of course, but I would predict yes. Hi, Ross. Would you start Vandenberg or Rogers? Rogers? Bruno or Ekatike captain? Just for security of minutes, I like Bruno. But if you think that Ekatike gets 80 plus mins, then go Ekatike. I think he's probably a better captain if they got similar mins. Seeing on Twitter saying he's not starting early leaks. I'd love to see the leaks. If you like see who's saying that. I can have a look myself, but I don't really trust people. So most of the accounts are all just guessing. I've already seen 2 of the people that are trying to claim that that Haaland's benched. They're just random accounts that are trying their luck. As I say, when you're predicting if like Haaland's going to be benched, it's a 50-50. He's either benched or he's not. So if you want to try and make your social channels blow up, you might as well take a risk. It's like flipping a coin. People don't know what they're doing. Heinz baked beans sauce leaked it. Well, okay, fair. I can't wait for Krupi to be benched in the 3 p.m. kickoffs. That'll make me happy. Van der Ven replacement? Hill? Or Vandenberg? Or like a Tete or Bassi? I like Fulham's fixtures for the next 2. But I would be a little bit concerned buying Anderson without knowing if he's going to start. Where was I? Start Rodgers or O'Reilly? Rodgers. Sorry to bother again. It's no bother. But I really feel it's time. It's the end for Haaland for me. Since I have 2 free transfers, just Haaland to João Pedro. Also, is it a good series of fixtures for João Pedro? I actually do like the fixtures for João Pedro, yeah. So I don't mind that move. And then it frees up money to do other stuff. Just seen a mad stat that Nottingham Forest have only scored 1 goal from their last 96 shots at home in all competitions. Wow. Maybe I should be starting Anderson. That's crazy. What crazy stat. That is very crazy, actually. It's one of the more crazy stats you'll hear this season. Utkarsh says, okay, I've got your team. Have 1 free transfer. Sell Haaland / Krupi for JP Ekatike, or just roll, in which case I should play Sarr or Krupi. I would roll the transfer and play Ismaila Sarr. Ismaila Sarr looks a really nice option right now, I'll be honest. So, yeah, I would roll and play Ismaila Sarr. It's not worth a hit. Discover with Sims is not taking a hit this week, so proud of myself. Well done. There are still 30 minutes left, though, Sim. Bench Dubravka Anderson, Andre Santos, Goodmanson. That's your bench, Finn. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. You were going to give me your bench to help. Okay. I mean, there's nothing really to do with that. How much is Andre Santos? I don't even know. 1 sec. Checking, and I'll get back to you. Andre Santos is 4.5. God, you can't even... Oh, stack. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've got a great transfer for you. Andre Santos to stack. Stack is still 4.7, isn't he? Stack. Yeah, okay. Andre Santos to stack. Done. Easy peasy. Wait, he is a midfielder, Andre Santos, isn't he, in the game? I should just check. Santos. Midfielder. Yeah, okay. Andre Santos to stack. Great use of your transfer, Finn. Get that done. Also gives you a really nice option for blank Gameweek 31 in stack. Who would you definitely have on a wild card? Do I still have it here? Here's a good question for you. Sometimes I do just still have it in there. Yeah, there you go. I don't love that wild card, by the way, but this is kind of roughly what I would have. Who would I definitely have on a wild card? Definitely. Gabriel, Van Dijk, Bruno Fernandes, Tavernier, Ekatike, João Pedro. Probably those 6. They're the only ones that I would definitely have. The other 9 are up for debate. I would definitely have 3 Liverpool. So if you don't have Salah, I would have Verts or Soboslai or someone like that. I think 3 Liverpool makes sense right now. Ross says, Raya... Okay, I've got your team, Ross. 5 free transfers and 6.9 million in the bank. Transfers for Dead End into Wildcard 32 have free hit and bench boost. Wow, what a team. 6.9 million in the bank. I think it's relatively straightforward, probably. It does give you a bit of a benching headache, but I think Mane to João Pedro has to be the straightforward transfer, although you don't have Van Dijk. I would probably say Gay to Van Dijk and or Mane to João Pedro. If you do Mane to João Pedro, I would probably bench Dango in your team. If you do Gay to Van Dijk, you probably bench Tarkowski and Chalobah. So those would be the ones. You could do both of them, by the way, Ross, but those would be the two transfers that stand out to me, I think. Yeah, just about. Bench 2 of Krupi, Hill, Munoz, Rogers. Probably Munoz and Krupi. I'd start Rogers and Hill. Just about, Dan. These are all very close decisions for a lot of people, though. Hi, Ross. What transfers are you planning to do today? Getting Salah. Yeah, option 1 in the poll at the moment. Gay as West Ham, though. He's just a bit low upside, though. He doesn't have much attacking threat and doesn't get Defcon. Who to start between Enzo or Wilson? Wilson, just. Very close, but just about Wilson. Krupi to João Pedro. Yeah, I mean, I can't see what the rest of your team is. Can't tell what your plans are, your chip strategy, but Krupi to João Pedro feels a huge upgrade, you know? Can you run a captaincy poll? I can, yes. I've also ended the poll with Salah being the #1 choice by you guys in the chat, which is nice. Right, who are you captaining this week, chat? Game week 30 captaincy poll. Bruno Fernandes against Aston Villa. Ekatike. Who's more popular, Ekatike? No, sorry, Salah or Haaland? Who's the more popular captaincy option right now? Let me know in the chat who you're captaining. Thiago. Verts. Haaland. Okay, Haaland's more popular. Okay. There we go. Captaincy poll right now. Yeah, it's pretty split. Lots of Thiago captains. A surprising number of Thiago captains, I would say. I didn't expect to see that much, but... Not to say he's bad, by the way. I just didn't expect it. Thoughts on Haaland to Ekatike and Njai to Salah? I like that a lot, but only if you're chasing and you acknowledge the risk that comes with selling Haaland, I would say. Because there is a big risk selling Haaland. Salah if I buy him. Yeah, it's weird. I still don't think I'm going to captain Salah if I buy him. Which I know kind of defeats the object of buying him slightly, but I don't know. I just think that I still prefer Bruno cap. But Salah is still a really nice option if you have him. I agree. So 17% captaining Haaland at the moment in the poll. Obviously, it might be slightly skewed because I'm looking at selling him, but... I love that everyone and their mum seems to be rolling the transfer this week. I just scrolled through X briefly and it's just like rolling. And I'm like, 2 free transfers. I don't see the United game being high scoring. Feel like Liverpool score more or even Brentford. You don't need it to be, though. If it's 1-0 to Man United, Bruno Fernandes could get 13 points. You know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes we overemphasize the actual result of the game. Because, like, if I told you Liverpool win 4-0, but Man United win 2-0, I'd still arguably rather captain Bruno, because the chance of Bruno being involved in those 2 goals is probably more likely than someone else being involved in one of the 4 Liverpool goals, because the goals are spread around the Liverpool team. Whereas with Man United, it's almost always Bruno involved in it. How crazy is Van Dijk captain? I wouldn't say hugely crazy, given his goal threats shot up recently and clean sheet feels like there's a decent chance for a clean sheet. I just think Spurs could nick a goal in this game. Like I think I've gone 4-1 Liverpool in the prediction, so I don't love captaining defenders. I mean, we saw it with Gabriel. We saw why it is a risk when we triple captained him that week. When I triple captained him, because defenders is just a little bit unpredictable, you know? Skamis is becoming a Rap Tier 1. I probably butchered your name there, but thank you for becoming a Rap Tier 1 member. I appreciate that very much. Welcome. We've had 2 people come Rap Tier 1 members this stream. Welcome, welcome. Got lots planned, of course, next year for memberships. Are you set on your transfers, Ross? I'm like 90%. I could absolutely be put off of them somehow. But yeah, I'm leaning that way at the moment. Like most people that have Haaland aren't captaining Haaland, you know? It's not like I'm selling a player that everyone else is captaining. It's just, he's just so highly owned, isn't he? You got it. Love your content. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. I need a wee a bit, but I can hold it for 24 minutes. Sure, why not? What are your transfer plans, Ross? Salah and Ekatike for Haaland and Rice. When is Everton Arsenal? Is that Sunday? No, that's the 5:30 game today. Well, I'm selling Haaland and Rice, who play today. So I'm going to know today how bad that decision was. I'm going to know pretty quickly how bad that decision was. Would you be doing your moves if it was for a -4? No. No, I would not. I don't even think they're great for free, so I certainly wouldn't be doing them for a hit. Is Iwobi to Tavernier sideways? No, I would be happy to do that. Foden cap. Foden cap is crazy. Gregadosh says, okay, I got your team. Chasing 2 free transfers. Prep for 31. Haaland, Mane to Ekatike, Thiago or Roll. I quite like that. But again, only if you are chasing, which you say you are. So yes, in your case, Gregadosh, I think Haaland and Mane to Ekatike and Thiago gives you 2 extra players for Gameweek 31. Gives you probably a better pairing overall. And reduces a highly owned asset from your team. Wardy Carping, I've got your team. Free hit 31, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, triple captain 36. I don't think that chip strategy doesn't really work. So if you've not seen Wardy, the teams that double in 33 are the teams that blank in 34. So if you wildcard in 32 to set up for a bench boost in 33, your team in Game Week 34 will have at least like 10 players blanking. So I think if you're on wildcard 32, bench boost 33, you absolutely categorically need to save your free hit for 34. So I don't think you can free hit in 31. I think you'll have to just get through it with your team. You've got Virgil, Senesi, Rogers, Bruno, Dango, King, Thiago, Haaland, Crew. You've already got like 8 or 9 players there. I think get through 31 without the free hit. Anyway, Haaland, Ekatike or Roll. Who do you think scores more points? With your strategy, you don't need to think about anything other than who do you think gets more points this week, Ekatike or Haaland? Dennis says 11 Verbruggen, Timber. Okay, I've got your 11. 1 free transfer, 1.1 million. Go bench boost next game week. 2 free transfers and a -4, and I can skip the free hit and use it on the next double game week. Haaland to Ekatike, Munoz to Hall, and Rice to Verts in Game Week 31. Yeah. Love that. Love that for Game Week 31. So did you say go bench boost? No, that's not a bench boost. But I think you've got the benching decision correct. I think you could maybe make an argument to start Munoz over Krupi, and I think I might lean that way. But otherwise, Dennis, it looks good. And I really like that plan for next game week. Which 2 would you start? Rogers, Semenyo, and Munoz. Cheers. Rogers and Semenyo. Hello. Have all my chips. When should I use? And triple captain who? If you've got all your chips, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36. Man City are at the moment have a reasonable possibility of a double in 36. If they don't, I think you end up just triple captaining someone in a single game week where you feel confident. Whenever you've got a captain where you're like, I think they're really good, then just captain them. But we'll find out more in a bit. But yeah, I think for now, still keep all of your chips. Jish, hello, it's Jish again. Midfield. Okay, I put you midfield, forward line. Looks good. Over him, but not excited about Salah. Krupi Rice to JP Tav or Haaland Krupi to JP Ekatike. Isn't Tavernier better than Soboslai? Arguably, yeah, maybe, probably. I talk to you more than my other friends. I'm glad you talked to me, though, Jish. I appreciate the support. What do I prefer there? I mean, if you want to keep... I guess it depends how much you want Ekatike and how willing you are to sell Haaland. I think probably the better transfers on paper, Jish, is probably Krupi and Rice to JP and Tavernier. But if you are happy selling Haaland and you want Ekatike, which is the position I'm in, then I quite like the latter set of moves. It really depends on your own risk appetite and thoughts on those two players. Daniel says, hello, Ross. I'm chasing 70 points. I have one free transfer, bench boost and free hit left. Okay. Chasing. So 70 points is a fair amount, but not inconceivable to get there. Please help who to start and best captain. Who to start? So I think you bench one of Dango, Rice, or Wilson. I honestly think it could be Dango, you know. I'm not feeling great, but he does play on the Monday, so maybe you want him. I would probably say, just because there are some doubts over his minutes, maybe Wilson, but it's pretty close. And then in the defence, I think you bench... Cool, that's pretty difficult. Well, you obviously bench Mukiele. Do you bench Kanate or Gay? I think you probably bench Mukiele and Gay. Kanate. No, because Kanate can get Defcon. I would bench Gay, Mukiele, and Wilson. You could arguably bench boost if you didn't have Mukiele. So I suppose that is an option for you if you wanted to absolutely attack, but I would probably not. I'd probably leave it. Start Wilson or Krupi. Wilson. Haaland Rodgers to JP Salah, wildcard 32 for a -4. I don't love that it's for a hit. So I would probably say no. But if you're going to captain Salah, maybe go for it. BJ6687 says, Ross, mate, midfield. Cool. Transfer to make. Thinking Rodgers to Tav, Anderson, Dango. Love you, mate. Big love. I wouldn't make the move just because I actually really like Rodgers this week. If you are to make it, why not actually sell Garner instead? Can you afford Garner to Tavernier? If you can afford Garner to Tavernier, I think that's a better transfer. If you can't, I still think Tavernier is the one I'd like to buy the most out of those three. Like, I would attack the fixture right in front of you, personally. Derek says, thoughts on a Haaland to Ekatike? I want to further attack the Spurs fixture and captain shout. Only one free transfer. Their next game week I plan on using a one free transfer for Guiu to João Pedro. Yeah, if you're going to captain Ekatike and you feel confident in these minutes, then Haaland to Ekatike and captain is fine. Like, but I want people to know that I can't predict what Liverpool are going to do with their team. It could be anything, right? It could be that Gakpo's benched again. It could be Ekatike and Salah are benched. It could be that they just go with their strongest team. I don't know what the Liverpool team will look like. That has to be your own minutes predictions. Who to start? Alderete, Aya, O'Reilly. Probably Alderete. And I think Wilson is probably just about better than Rodgers, but I like both of them. I think people that are having to choose between Rodgers and Wilson, it screams of being disappointed, because I think they could both do really well. Rice to Verts or roll and go Gordon next week. Thank you, Goat. Yeah, you're more than welcome. I quite like rolling. You could still go Verts next week. Even if you decide, actually, I do want to do Verts, you can do it next week. So I'd probably say just do it next week. Upgrade Guiu to Thiago or Pedro. I probably prefer Thiago. I would say Guiu to Thiago looks nice, but if you want to just bring in a player that's just scoring goals for fun, Pedro's also good. Anderson is likely to clean over Hall/Goodmanson. Yep. Did the Stack move? Do I try and start him this week or wait? I would wait. Stack's a great option to have on the bench, but I don't think there's any need to try and shoehorn him into your team. He's just a really nice, cheap asset that you can play every week. Start one of Gay or Senesi. Senesi. And 2, Rodgers or Wilson. Rodgers Wilson is a coin flip. Like, literally just flip a coin and just go based on what the coin says. It's literally that close. I would just lean Wilson. So I would say Senesi and Wilson. Start Cherky or Elliot Anderson. Elliot Anderson for me. What are you doing for Game Week 31? I would plan on probably rolling, but we'll see. I could also take out Garner for another cheap midfielder. The thing is, I just don't know who I would get that as a great fixture. Like, I could go for a Wobie. I don't think I'll be able to afford Wilson, if I'm correct in that. Let me actually just double check that. I'm pretty sure, like 90% sure. If I do Haaland to Ekatike and Rice to Salah. Where is it? Salah. Yeah, so next week... Oh. No, I will. Maybe I do that then. But then I will have a benching. Oh, no, I could bench Kroopy. Yeah, maybe I do that. I don't know why I thought I wouldn't have enough money. But yeah, maybe sell Garner is the option in 31. Other than that, I don't think I'll make a defender move because I've got Van Dijk, Rodon, Anderson. I can bench Munoz, bench Gabriel, bench for Bruggen. So yeah, I think Garner out is the most likely. Start Rice or Dango. That's actually very close as well, but I think I would start Declan Rice and bench Dango, believe it or not. O'Reilly or Timber? Timber. Any team leaks, Big Boy Ross? I don't think so. Nothing that I would trust or rely on anyway. Can't see anything at the moment. Yeah, nothing super trustworthy or anything. In fact, I'm not even seeing any like rumors or stuff like that. Yeah. Kroopy Jr., are you confident he will play? No. I would say if you were to ask me to predict, I'd say there's a good chance he doesn't play, but I'm going to risk it because I'm at that point of the season where funny. Where funny. You can always score off the bench as well, you never know. What's the plan? This. Why are so many going against Haaland? Because he's been rubbish. Not to say that he... By the way, I truly think Haaland could pop off against West Ham, but his minutes haven't been secure, and he has been a bit rubbish. So I think when you combine those, there's the ability to go against him if you want to. Just joined, is Haaland benched? I doubt it. I would predict a Haaland start. I would say there's an 80% chance that Haaland starts. But whether he gets an early sub or not, I don't know. Saliba to Van Dijk for free. Yep, I don't mind it. I do think you could just wait a week, but I also don't mind going now. Play 2 of Ryan, Anderson, Iwobi. Probably Ryan and Anderson. Bench Munoz or Wilson, mate. Thank you. I would bench Munoz, start Wilson. Elliot Anderson or Wilson. I would actually start Elliot Anderson. Haaland to Thiago. Captain Ekatike or Bruno. I don't mind Haaland to Thiago. Doesn't feel like a necessary transfer, but I don't hate it. I prefer Bruno captain to Ekatike. Just because of security of minutes more than anything else. Haaland or Pedro cap? I think Haaland. I do like João Pedro captain, but I think Haaland. Rodgers, Enzo, Lacroix, O'Reilly. Bench 1. I would bench O'Reilly because I think there's the most doubts over his minutes. Hello, my dad says hi. Hello, Pickle, and Pickle's father as well. Good to see you. Thank you for watching the stream. I appreciate it. And hopefully, 3 points today for you. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed you actually get to watch a good game as well. Bruno or Palmer captain, Ross? I actually don't mind Palmer captain, but Bruno captain would be the one for me. I'm getting after rank big time and need something big after dropping João Pedro to Thiago before Pedro's hat-trick. Thanks. Oof. Maybe Palmer cap. Palmer cap would be very interesting. I've not seen many Palmer captain shouts. So if you want to go like super different, I respect it. Cherry Ledge says, did Mane to João Pedro? Should I take a -4 to get rid of Haaland for Ekitike to captain? 650k rank, and I'm kind of desperate. You're almost the same rank as me, in almost the same position as me. Let's just do it, you know? What is the worst thing that can happen? Haaland scores a hat-trick. Oh, well. Just makes it slightly less chance of us recovering our rank, I say. Thiago captain? Yeah, lots of people seem to be on Thiago captain. I thought it was a kind of good bench boost team. Dubravka, Van Hecke, Krupi, and Garner. I don't have wildcard, but what should I wait for and when are you doing it? I've already bench boosted. I don't think it's a bad bench boost, Dennis, but you've got Dubravka who probably concedes, Krupi who might not start, and Garner who's playing Arsenal. And Van Hecke probably concedes. So, like, it's not a bad bench boost. And I didn't bench boost particularly well myself, but I don't know. It doesn't excite me much, I guess, is what I would say. The sound of your keyboard is so pleasing. We could do like an ASMR keyboard stream. That'd be fun. I do love my keyboard. For anyone that's not seen, it was £160. It is the most expensive purchase that is entirely unnecessary, but it is beautiful. Should I do an ASMR stream? Who would watch an ASMR stream? I could like rub my head and like type down the thing. Whisper sweet nothings about Bruno Fernandes. Would you pay good money to hear me say Bruno Fernandes on repeat? I would pay good money for that. Start two with Wilson, Vandenberg, and Rodgers. Wilson and Rodgers. Always back the attackers. I think both Wilson and Rodgers have high upside this week. Play two of Van Dijk, Raul Jimenez, Rodgers, and Wilson. I like Van Dijk, though. Van Dijk and Wilson in that case. Hi, Ross. I'm starting Bruno, Mbermo, Dango, Ryan, Iwobi, João Pedro, and Raul. Thinking of taking someone out for Haaland. Should I take someone out or bench him? What's the question? You're thinking of taking someone out for Haaland? What, like selling? Or are you saying Haaland's on your bench? I wouldn't bench Haaland. I would start Haaland instead of Raul Jimenez probably in your team there, just because there are obviously doubts around whether he starts or not. But yeah, I wouldn't bench Haaland. I think you sell Haaland or you start Haaland, obviously. Thoughts on Semenyo captain going for differential? Yeah, I don't mind Semenyo captain. I do think this is the week where there have been most doubts over Semenyo's minutes, but I still think he's pretty secure to start. Chris Allen says, Kelleher, Gabriel, Virgil, Senesi in for this week for Van der Ven. Nice. Enzo, Bruno, Semenyo, Rodgers, Haaland, João Pedro, captain, Thiago, Hall and KDH on the bench. Would you use an extra transfer on anything or change anything? Lovely team. Lovely transfer, lovely team. Don't mind the differential captaincy shout on João Pedro. It's really good, Chris. I don't think you need an extra transfer, no. Good luck. Palmer captain. Yeah, listen, if you want to captain anyone this week, not anyone, but any of those sort of options, I respect it. Committed decision. We've done it. Bye-bye, Haaland. This is going to go so badly. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to sit here on Sunday when my rank says 1.1 million and say, why'd I sell Haaland? Why'd I buy Salah? So you're selling a penalty taker for a not penalty taker. Well, I'm buying Salah, who is a penalty taker. So I'm selling Haaland for Ekitike, but getting Salah. Haaland, I don't know what I'm saying. If Krupi starts, he's great. Burnley conceded over half their goals over the last 5 through the middle. That'd be great. I think there is a chance that like half my team are benched. Munoz could be benched. Salah could be benched. Ekitike could be benched. Krupi could be benched. It is a red team, isn't it? Should I take a -4 hit to sell Munoz for someone that doesn't have blue on their kit? If Salah goes big, you need to flex it. Oh, I will. I'll be unbearable. I need to take a screenshot on my phone. You should double down and captain Salah. It's tempting. It really is tempting to captain Salah. But I just love Bruno Fernandes. I enjoy watching Man United more when Bruno is my captain. And I trust his minutes. So I still think I'm going to keep Bruno captain. But yeah, I do understand the double down kind of concept. I think I've got my bench order correct as well. I don't want to say I definitely have. Also, guys, for those that enjoy the Geoguessr, I will be doing a bit of Geoguessr after the stream. I'm going to carry on streaming past the deadline. So basically, when the deadline goes, please do carry on watching. Start Enzo versus Wilson. That's very tough. I'd still lean Wilson, but Enzo is playing very well at the moment. Is Wilson predicted to not start? I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I would predict that he does. Have Liverpool players on the side with Bruno and Mbeumo in the middle. I should do that. But how long do we have till the deadline? We've got 4 minutes. If the site crashes because I'm faffing around trying to get a more aesthetically pleasing team, I just I can't do that to myself. So it is a very red team. I don't really love that. I do like to have a bit more blue in my team, but that's okay. You're getting Salah, but not captaining him. Yes. You've got Haaland, but you're not captaining him. You know, that's what I can say to most people. I get the concept, by the way. If you're going to buy Salah, why not cap him? I still think Bruno's a better option than Salah this week, just due to minutes security. Again, if someone could see into the future and said, I can't tell you how many points Salah gets, but I can promise you that he's going to play 90, I probably would captain Salah. I probably would. Bro, where is Haaland? Don't know. You tell me. Probably somewhere on the way to London, I would say. Maybe on a bus. Yeah, I actually do miss Haaland. Should I take a -4 to go and buy Haaland? The good thing is, next week, Haaland can't punish me. Right? This week he can, but next week I'll be sat there thinking, I'm glad I don't have Haaland. Will Creepy start? Probably not. Probably not. My team's in the bin. Like, let's be honest here. It's fine. Are you captaining Salah? No, don't think so. I think I'm going to captain Bruno. Haaland hasn't travelled to the Etihad. This is true, Mike. For those that don't get the joke, obviously he's not playing at the Etihad. Before anyone panics. Captain Tavernier. I like Tavernier cap. No issues there. You've got 2 minutes till the deadline. My recommendation to you would be to absolutely lock in. I don't mean lock in mentally. I mean lock your team in. Like, refresh it. Make sure you've got your captain sorted. Make sure you got your vice cap sorted. Make sure you got your bench order sorted as well. Yeah, it's going to be pretty funny if after the deadline, Man City, Crystal Palace is put back in. I think it's unlikely, but it's not inconceivable. I left for 5 minutes and he got Salah. You shouldn't have left. Maybe if you didn't leave, I wouldn't have done it, you know. Well done for doing something different. It's a bit of fun. The thing is, people complain that content creators all do the same thing. And then someone will do something different. And then you'll complain that it's weird. It's like you want people to be different, but you don't want people to be different. There's like a cognitive dissonance. I know big words. Are you planning to bring Haaland back in on the wildcard? Yes, but I'm not going to wildcard till 35. So I will own Haaland for a free hit in 33, I think. And then I'll wildcard him in 35. Assuming City reach the FA Cup semi-finals. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Is there a Geoguessr for toilets? Probably. Wouldn't be surprised. Less than a minute till the deadline. I'm hoping for a Salah hat-trick for you, mate. I really don't want Liverpool to win, so it'll be pretty funny if they don't. But yeah, if they do, hopefully Salah's the one that goes massive. This is what I came here for. Peak FPL entertainment. This is it, man. It's a game. Have fun with it. Do fun things. Buy players that will get benched. Starting Mbeumo or Wilson? I would lean Brian Mbeumo there. But they're both very good. I wouldn't have an issue starting either of them. Olympians captaining Haaland. Olympian's good at FPL, man. I don't know where this narrative comes that he's bad. It's just a meme, I think. But he's very good at FPL. Gone Haaland to Ekatike for a -4. Good luck. Good luck to everyone that's made the move with me. Right. There we are. Let's tweet the team. Crazy. Right. What am I doing? Tweet him. Andy did it as well. Did he? He wasn't planning on it, was he? He said he was going to roll to me. I thought he was rolling. Rolling. Another week completed. Not yet. We've still got the actual weekend. But yeah, another week of prep completed. He already hates it. And he captained Salah. Fair play. Fair play. Salah cap as well is crazy. Fair play to him. At that rank, to be doing that, got some cojones on him. I respect it. I respect it. Right. Let me... Sorry, guys. Just tweeting my team out. Then we will get back to proceedings. Why does it not let me select all the text? Oh, I'm such an old man with technology. Look, I just want to select all of my... I'm having to use my phone like an old person. It's actually my birthday in 2 weeks, by the way, guys. I'm actually going to lose my mind. There you go. It's my birthday in 2 weeks, 29. 29, almost 30. Right, post. Right, let me pin. Egg will be 55. No, I'm 29. I'm 29. It'll be my 30th year on Earth. Happy birthday for in 2 weeks. Sadly, there's no deadline on my birthday. I say sadly, I'm actually quite happy about that. There's no FPL on my birthday weekend, but you're the only celebrity that I share a birthday with. Oh, what, on the 29th or are you on the 28th? I'm born on the 29th, so... Also, I'm not a celebrity. Although I think I am on celebrity birthdays. I'm sure someone sent that to me. 1 sec. Ross Dowson. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe it was a troll. I'm sure someone sent it to me. What is this, man? Why am I on celebrity birthdays? Look, it's famous birthdays. His real life name given to him by his parents is Ross Dowsett. He has a video where he talked about Cristiano Ronaldo being one of his fantasy player picks. I don't remember doing that. But that's pretty funny, regardless. Oh, right, let me bin that off. Let me go here. Let me do that. I didn't know you were a YouTube star. I just am. I can't help being a celebrity. Like, I can't help it. Like, everywhere I go, there's just paparazzi following me around, and it's just like, guys, I'm just a normal person. Just a normal person like you. Like, please stop treating me like I'm different. I know I'm famous. God, just stop it. Ross, imagine being called a celeb and not having to deal with the press. Best of both worlds. Hannah Montana. Right. Transitioning from Hannah Montana into Club. If you've not checked out Club, there is a link down below. We, as always, will be meeting with Manny, making sure that our team is sorted. This is where the team's at right now, but I'm over my salary cap, so I actually need to sort that out, don't I? Yeah, I do. Who can I sell? Maybe Zubamendi. Yeah, fixtures aren't great. He's not got a fixture. So I don't really want Zubamendi. That helps out a little bit. And then I can sell. I need to sell one more player. Sanchez, I can sell. Buy Sanchez. I need to sell one more again. Maybe Garner? Yeah, maybe Garner. Okay. Well, I'm still not under Luke Shaw. Right now I should be. Yes, okay, right. I'm inside the salary cap. I will then play Sobersley. Move Stack there. Bring Cunha and Hall onto the bench. Like I said, there's a link down below to download if you want to check it out. I highly recommend it. Completely free. So, now I just need to meet with Manny. So, predict what player we will be getting. Can be anyone in the Premier League. We will be playing Geoguessr in a second as well, don't worry. We didn't get any Haaland info, did we? No. Not that I saw. Not that I saw. Right. Guess any player in the Premier League. I reckon Wharton. Ross, does Pickle do a deadline stream? No, as I said before, FPL Pickle, if you haven't seen the very similar, she uses my office, and obviously my deadline streams are a priority, so she can't deadline stream at the same time as me. She could do a different stream, like the day before or the day after, but she can't deadline stream. And I think she's enjoying it, YouTube for sure. Right, let's click. Base. Core. Oh. I can almost guarantee no one guessed Irabunum. Reject. Anyone on loan that we want? No, I don't think so. I've collected them. Okay. Okay. Well, like I said, do make sure to join. As I said as well, here is my league. Make sure to join my league. There's a link here if you want to check out Club. That's the league link. And now what we're going to do is some Geoguessr, but I'm actually going to go for a Wii first. So sorry about that. I've been needing one for about 50 minutes. Right, let me... Yep. Let me close you down. Drag you out. Okay, guys, I'm going to go for a wee. Be right back. I'll be a couple of minutes, then we're going to carry on streaming. If you want to leave, I absolutely understand. No hard feelings, but I will be back soon. Bye. Hello, everyone. Right. I'm gonna get set up for Geoguessr then, and we'll wait for the lineups, which we get in 6 minutes. To be fair. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my other YouTube channel, I'm gonna leave it here. Oh, there you go. And I'm gonna say please subscribe to this YouTube channel. There you go, and then I'll pin that. Then I'll end that poll. Right, let me go. You can see my big old mush. There you go. Look at that guy. Hello. What I know. I can drag you over here. Then boom, boom, boom. Sorry, guys. There you go. Ross, did you enjoy Dave yesterday? Yeah, Dave was class, actually. Really good. He basically just sounded like he does on track. It was quite impressive, actually. I'm not really in the center anymore. There we go. How's the REM sleeps recently, Sunshine? Positive. Always positive. What level were you on at Geo? Not great. Master 2, 854. I've lost quite a few games recently, to be honest. My all-time high is 1066. Master 1, 1066. I was going to play a bit of moving before we do a party, you know. I've been enjoying moving recently, actually. I'm going to wait 3 minutes though, because there's for the lineups. Or I'll just start, to be honest. Yeah, I've been playing a bit of the moving. I mean, so this should be Chile, right? So we know we're in Chile. I just need a sign now. So let's head southeast. Oh, was there a sign there straight away? No. No, that wasn't. Is it Chile? That was pretty good for Chile, I think. Here we go. So we've got Parral 128, Poquilas. Parral. Parral is here. The 128 is to our southeast. Okay, Parral 128, and then Poquilas and Kia. Kia is to our south as well. 128. Are we on the 5 or are we on the 128 then? What's the road angle? Like there? Caquenes is like northish. 24. Okay, so we're probably actually not on... Probably on one of these roads then. What happened to FPL? We don't do FPL post-deadline. You know? Poquias and Kia. Oh. Poquias and Kia. Wait, what does that say there? Cabineros is to our southwest. I don't know, we're somewhere around there. Can I be bothered to 5k it? Can I even 5k it? That's the question. Let me just try and line up a road. I'll just try and line up a road. Let's line up something that fits. No. Somewhere around here, I think. No. I'm sure it's going to be somewhere around here. You know? That's not quite a lineup either. I don't know what road we're on, but I don't think we're going to be on a really main road. That could line up. I don't know. Nor do I care. Okay, it was there. We were 14 kilometers away, that's fine. Lineup's right in 1 minute. Oh, what was that? Oh, no. Little. Do love Little. London. Don't think we're in London, sadly. Bucharest? Don't know where Bucharest is. Okay, we do have a nice sign here, though. Lisboa. Lisboa. I'm actually going to Lisbon in 3 weeks, so, you know. Lisboa N10. N10? N10? Does that say? Croupy starts. Don't say that to me. Does he actually? Hold up. Wait a minute. Croupy starts. That's such good news. Who's on the bench then? Wait, who's on the bench? I'm struggling to work this out. Evan Nilsson, Ryan. Is Tavernier playing deep or is Christie playing deep then? Why can I not work out? They've got too many attackers on the pitch, haven't they? So Evan Nilsson is the 9, Croupy is the 10, Tavernier and Ryan. And so yeah, they've just got loads of attackers on the pitch. Croupy starts. Christie always plays as an 8. Does he? Oh. Got that wrong then, didn't I? Who else are we waiting for? Team news on. Verbruggen starts. Where's Lafay? Is Lafay there? Lafay. No Lafay. Is there only 2 games? I think there's only 2 games at 3, isn't there? Can't believe Croupy starts. I'm so happy. I don't really care whether this is in Lisbon. It's there. Okay. So this should be Philippines. So we're in the... Do you know what? Philippines is definitely one that you can find if you get a sign. Oh. No, but apparently they don't want me to move very quickly. God, it's so difficult to move sometimes, isn't it? Nagtipunan? Isn't that up here? Nagtipunan? No, Oh, I know, I've heard of that place, but I think it's quite a small one. I don't know. Let's carry on going. Oh, here we go. This is better. Quirino Province. Quirino. What did you do in the end, Ross, with your team? I sold Haaland and Rice for Salah and Ekatike. Not looking good. Why can I not find Quirino? I don't think the provinces are listed, are they? That's why. Nagtipunan. I'm sure I have had a location. Don't know. I don't think we're going to find anything else, so maybe we just skip past this one and just guess Philippines. Maybe I've not then. Yeah, I don't think I have, because I can't even see it on the map. Okay, fair enough. Do you know what? Let's just play. Let's just do a party. We're gonna go official maps, popular maps. We'll go community world, invite, copy, invite. Right, you've got 2 minutes to join our Geoguessr party if you want to play. All this means is you will be playing the same as I will be. We will do 10 rounds as always, and we'll go no move. Do you recommend tracking your sleep, Ross? I've got an Aura ring, but recently I had quite a bit of sleep anxiety and insomnia. I would say I don't think these things are that accurate for tracking your sleep, but what they are good for is they just make you think about it, right? Which means you don't have caffeine as late and you try and get your 8 hours. So it just makes you more deliberate with your sleep, I would say. Right, 1 minute left. Join the Geoguessr party. Join the Geoguessr party. All you have to do is scan the code or type in the code or click on the link in chat and you can play alongside me. Shall I invite Adam to play? Adam's been invited. Welcome to my party, Adam. Your code is a palindrome. Oh, yeah. It is. Fair play. Didn't even spot that. Hey, Ross, how are you doing? I got really sick and missed your videos in the week, but luckily I joined in on the live. I love you, bro. You don't understand. You bring me up whenever I'm down. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm sorry you're feeling sick, by the way. But I am glad that my content can help in some way. And I'm glad you made the live stream. Right, 30 seconds. 10 seconds, actually, because I just want to start. Just want to get into it, you know? Right, 3, 2, 1. Start game. Someone made it in just in the nick of time. I'll be doing another one after this, so no worries if you didn't make it. Oh. This looks familiar. I've actually been here. No, I've not really, but... I like that there's someone called Nicholas Jackson in the party. Good old Nicholas. I do miss Nicholas Jackson. Why is the code system so buggy on mobile, for goodness sake? I don't know. When do we start? You should be in. If you've not, maybe just refresh it. But you should be in now. I actually don't know what language that is. Well, I know it's between 2 languages. But I don't know. I'll give you a clue. We're in the UK. It's not working. It is for some people at least. I don't know if that is Welsh or Scottish. Probably looks more Scottish, I would say. It was Irish. Oh, okay, fair. It didn't look like Ireland. The road lines didn't fit and the sign didn't fit. The language clearly did. You'd normally in Ireland on a road like that, you'd get yellow outer lines, which was a bit confusing, but we're here regardless. Quite difficult rounds to start today, I would say, overall. You're in this area of the world, if it helps. That can be my clue to you. Then look at road driving direction helps as well here. Which side of the road they're driving on. They're driving on the right, which again helps quite a lot. Yeah, a few different clues here for you. I think. I'm now having doubts myself. What's the... Yeah. I'm now having loads of doubts about where we are. I'm actually now wondering if this is South America. My thought was like Cambo, Thailand, but I'm now worried that this is actually South America. Oh, Jesus. You 5K'd. Jesus, man. Someone's actually 5K'd. GG's. Fair play. I thought my guess was decent. I don't think they are cheating. There was no signs. I don't think they could have cheated. I think they just lined it up. Fair play. I really don't think that was cheating because I didn't see any signs. I think they just did a really nice guess, which is pretty impressive. Right, round 3. How does that look like Cambodia? It just did look like Cambodia, to be honest. We also had Cambodian or Vietnamese bollards as well. Acitunia? Acitucinia? Got the CM11. Okay. Man-eyed rural China. How does that look like Cambodia? Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Well, do ask me. So we had Cambodian bollards. The houses were on stilts. We were driving on the right, and it looked like a dry part of Asia. So, yeah. How long we got? 43 seconds. I'm feeling relatively confident on this one. We've got a ridge. Ooh. Whoa, huge mountains to our northwest. Ah, maybe I'm less confident on this one then. I'm scanning for a road. Fair play. Well, I know the country, but I don't know where in that country we are. We should be in Spain, but we've got those... Is there a CM up here? I thought that said CM. I thought we were here. I'm still going to go here. Screw it. But I think we're further north, aren't we? We're there. Okay. Did anyone get the road? Is anyone on the 5? No, they're not. Okay, good. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't play this game enough. I deduct from that pick. Yeah, it is all just about playing the game enough, in all honesty. Okay. I feel like I need to make the round shorter next time. There's, yeah. I feel like there's too much time to decipher. And also a lot of time me just sitting around. Because what I would like to be doing now is try and line up something. But I can't zoom in on the map because currently only 5 people have guessed. So, you know, everyone will just... How do you know they're not cheating? You don't know if your opponent's cheating. To be fair, cheating with this is going to be tough. You could ask AI where in the world we are, but there's no guarantee it will get closer than I would, for example. If you've got a road sign, if you've got text, then absolutely people can be cheating. But yeah, for stuff like this, it's very difficult to cheat effectively, I would say. Just going to spin around, give everyone motion sickness. So what I would say is I actually think we're in the same country. I don't know, but I actually think we're back in Spain. And we're in a flat part of Spain. Not flat per se, but maybe here? Around here? No, whoa, much further north. Okay. Fair, fair. Bad guess. I'll take it on the chin. Move on to the next one. It's quite difficult to make anything out, isn't it? I think I know what that flag is, but it's obviously tough. Would fit with the general vibe. I am Rubber Dinghy Rapids, bro. I'm not even cheating. Fair play, man. You're just good at Geoguessr then. Just good at Geoguessr. Milner starting in midfield for Brighton today is cool. He's such a veteran. Yeah, he really is, isn't he? Ah, okay, I do know what country it is because of that sign. This is the same pedestrian crossing sign pretty much that they use in Russia. This isn't Russia, by the way, but it's the same sort of one that they use in Russia. We're probably not too far from Tallinn, are we? My best bet is to probably go like somewhere around there. Oh, okay. Fair. No one got that, did they? Thank God. Ross, good morning. Quick recap on any news in your transfers. I bought Salah and Ekatike, and I sold Rice and Haaland, and I don't think we've had any news today. Oh, this is an amazing round. God, this is stunning. Yeah, this is beautiful, man. Look at that. Icy as well. We're in the mountains, aren't we? Yeah, what a round that is. We've got the bollard for the country here, by the way. It's a bollard. And that is just stunning. I don't actually know what city this is, though. We'll be interested to see what city it is. We've also got the number plate as well. Give us a bit of a clue. Dan Bollard. Dan Bollard, indeed. So we've literally just got a... That's just so cool. It looks like something out of like Game of Thrones or something. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful round. It should be Italy. Could be Albania, I suppose. The fact that it says icy worries me. But I'm like, it doesn't look very Alpsy. Alpsy. I don't know. This could absolutely be northern Italy. Like up here. Wouldn't surprise me. It was further south. That was what I was worried about. So I'm glad I sort of hedged a bit. We're up into the top 10, which is nice. Yeah, it was Italy. So you had the Italian bollard. You had an Italian plate. And you had... What else was there? Italian bollard, Italian plate. Can't remember what else there was, but... If you know, you know. And if you don't know, then you're screwed. Someone will 5k this because someone will cheat because we have a lot of info. I'm trying to see if I can get any info to help me with my guess. Okay, I don't think I have anything that can help me with my guess here. In terms of text that I can use. Obviously, if you're using Google, you can. Looks a little bit tropical, though, I'd say. Do I have anything? The National Lottery Authority. No, it doesn't say. That's annoying. It doesn't actually say what province or anything. It's going to be an intersection. I would say further south. No, it doesn't peel off to the left like that, does it? It just peels off to the right. That's not that then. I don't think it'd be that sort of road. Oh, it was way. I was out there. Okay. Yeah, sus. I'm going to say sus. I don't want to lie. I'm not cheating, but I know the town. Okay, be fair, if you know the town, then you know the town. Ho is a pretty famous city. But did it say that it was that city, or do you just know? It's fair play. If you know, you know. Moving players know it. Okay. I didn't even see the name of it, though. Maybe you just knew what it looked like. Oh, God. It said Ho right above the signs you were looking at. Oh, fair. Just missed it. I don't know. This is Russia. Genuinely no idea where in Russia, but this is Russia. I feel like this could be further east, potentially. Maybe. Maybe it feels like it could be. Don't know, though. Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? It almost looks a bit Asian, some of the vegetation here. But it's probably not going to be. It's probably just going to be here. This is probably just the safer bit, isn't it? It's like there. I don't know. It's saying, though, risk of like falling off a cliff kind of thing. I think that's what that's saying. So we've got to be in the mountains. So maybe it is over here somewhere. What countries, again, are decoys as they don't get coverage? There's quite a few, really, you'd have to go through. Oh, it was... It's really far east. It looked so far east, to be honest. I can actually show you on a sec. Let me... Oh. If you create an account on this, you can check the coverage on here. Oh, what am I doing? That there will show you where the coverage is. How are you doing, Ross? I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well. Creepy starting, I know. Creepy starting is great news. I actually don't know what Arabic-speaking country this is. I do worry that this is... I wonder if this is Tunisia. Is that one of the follow cards against Tunisia? I feel like it could be, conceivably. This doesn't really look like... Maybe it is... Yeah, maybe it... Well, okay. It looks like West Bank. Yeah, fair. Jordan. I thought Jordan had a black car. Or not in that part of the coverage. Is that technically not Jordan anymore? I don't even know. Final round. It's a tight battle at the top. 3 players on 40,000 plus. So we shall see. Well, it doesn't matter really because I'm not going to win. So let's just try and line something up. I think maybe over here somewhere. No. It's very sandy though. Makes me even wonder if it is like very close to Botswana. Is that not the Malawi flag? Where? Yeah, guess there. Go on. Do it. I dare you. There are a lot of palms, aren't there? Yeah, maybe it's like here. You see, like there's loads and loads of palms. Do you think if you went to all of those places on holiday, it would give you a significant advantage? I don't think from holiday, but I think if you lived in them, like I lived in Amsterdam for 6 weeks, and I can very quickly tell when I'm in Amsterdam. So I think if you visited them for a long time, I don't know if this is Cape Town or if this is up here. It's either like... It's either on the Botswana border or it's all the way down here. Oh, Namibia. I thought that was Small Cam. I completely misidentified the truck. I thought that was, yeah, bad. It's bad all around. Look, barely anyone's playing anymore. This is why I don't do parties. Look, none of these people are guessing anymore. So what's the point, you know? What's the point if no one's gonna guess? Should I just play some duels then? Does anyone even want to still watch? Shall I stop streaming? Should I carry on streaming? What do you want me to do? And if you want me to play duels, what modes? What modes do you want me to play? I was enjoying the party. But only like 3 people were still guessing it, so at the end everyone was just inactive. I couldn't guess because it didn't work. A moving party, please. Moving party's just chaos though, wasn't it? Everyone wants a party. Okay. Right. I'll try again then. A minute. I'll give you a minute to join. Let me copy the code. Yes, we are watching. Thanks, Mum. Can always count on my mum to watch. There we go. I don't know what to do. What do you want? Let's do a quick poll. Quick poll. Start a poll. What mode? Moving, no move, and MPZ. Right, vote on the poll. What mode do you want for the party? Do you want moving, no move, or an MPZ? I'll do whatever you want. If you've never played Geoguessr, no move means you can spin around and look, and MPZ means it's just one static frame. And moving is you can move around as much as you want up and down the streets and stuff like that. I'm going to make it... I'm going to go 10 seconds. Let's go 20 seconds. Let's make it really difficult to get through. To do it. I'm going to go 15 rounds. What is an MPZ? It's just a still frame. So you literally can't... it stands for no moving, panning, or zooming. So it's just that still frame that you end on. Okay, no move wins. Okay, so it's going to be no move. I'll do 20 seconds. Because I think with 10 seconds, it's... like, if people's internet takes a while to kick in, it's a bit short. Okay, come on. You've got 10 seconds. Do you have a video for beginners? Yes, let me show you. If you are new to Geoguessr, if you're watching this now thinking I'd quite like to get into Geoguessr, but I don't know where to start, this YouTube video here is basically a beginner's guide. So feel free to go watch it. I would say it's probably quite useful if you're new to Geoguessr. I've just spammed it in the chat. And also, like I say, if you're still watching now and you're not subscribed to my GeoRaptor YouTube channel, please consider doing so. Like, it supports me a lot. I'll slap that in the chat as well. But I play Geoguessr on there a few times a week. So, is this an app? This is a website, but you can get an app, I think. Right. 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds you've got, by the way, guys. 20 seconds per round. So get on it. Go. Only 20 seconds. You've got to be rapido. Oh, God. Oh, God. My screen is all white. That's not good. I actually don't know where this is. I don't know where we are. What's Argentina? Okay, fair. My screen is all white too. You just have to refresh it, I think, but it's sad because you've missed the first round. Yeah, it was Argentina. Wasn't my best guess. I went a little bit too far south. I don't know why it does it. There's nothing I can do to stop it. It's just a Geoguessr thing, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Right here. Spain, Portugal. Could be Spain, Portugal, Italy. Could be Italy. Nah, Spain, Portugal, I think. It is northern Spain. Cool. Tough out here. It's tough out here. Do you get a starting location? People are either really good guessing first time, or does it help you? What do you mean? I don't understand the question. Oh, God, it was further south than I thought. That's fine. Good guesses. Probably the pole plates. I still don't know the pole plates. There's such a delay that I'm waiting, and then like people won't have enough time to Oh. How? I was 7 kilometers away, guys. I'm basically blinky. Don't know about you. But we were 7 kilometers away in Colombia. It's not working on my phone. Yeah, to be honest, I would play it on a laptop or a computer, but yeah. I'm glad I have that, I guess. Tough round. Very tough round. Tough round. Okay, not too not too tough. Tough round. Yeah, it was Mexico. The single dashed yellow center line is very common in Mexico. Less common in other places. I don't know where we are. Okay, there's Bulgaria. Didn't have enough time to look around properly in all fairness. God, those 20-second rounds are tough, right? After like thinking about it for a few seconds and taking a look round. I'm finding it impossible to play on phone. Time should be at least 40 seconds. I kind of forget that people play on their phone. Like on a computer, 20 seconds is enough. It's meant to be quick, to be fair. But I get that it won't be for everyone. Yeah. So this should be Gujarat. We've got a Gujarat poll, so it should be this area here of India. We'll see. Nice. It was Gujarat. Were we the closest guess? I think we were. Oh no, who was this? You were closer. 161 got closer. There's a Gujarat poll. There's Gujarati language as well. Yeah, I don't know the languages too well, but I know the polls. Okay. Fairly okay. I don't know where in Greece this is going to be. But let's... Is it Greece? Was that Greek? I think it was Greek. Might not have been. It was Greece. Thanks. Thank God. I do get Greek and the Cyrillic mixed up far more often. Said Kazani on the town hall. Did it? What does Kazani mean? I don't know what that means. Is that the region? There was a Greek flag. Too quick for me. Didn't see it. Looked Greek though, didn't it? The whole round. I can never tell if they're short or long, these dash lines. M to the W, like how do I tell? These look short to me, but I bet they're not. I bet I bloody send Sweden and this is Norway, and I'm not going to be best pleased. Yes, Norway. They look like short dash lines to me. My brain can't cope with that. How do you... I don't understand. Like, they looked very short. I'm not sure they could get that much shorter, but maybe. Maybe they can. The amount of times I go the wrong way with the lines, and I just... I don't know. Middle plonk. Okay, middle plonk worked. It's Thai language. Middle plonk worked. Yeah, only 13 people are still guessing. We've lost people. You're insanely good at this, Ross. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wouldn't say I'm insanely good, but I'm definitely improved a lot. Oh, what bollard is that? Is that the Belgian? Danish? I can't tell if that's the... What bollard is that? No, it's not going to be Belgium, is it? Oh, it was. Okay. It was the Belgian. Okay, well, whoa. Nobody panic. It was the Belgian bollard. Dan Ballard. Guys, nobody panic. But we're first. This is all I needed. I just needed to speed it up. Okay, let's lock in. 40 people just guessed, by the way. Oh, okay. Oh, I wish I could guess my own country. Yeah, I mean, it might not be, to be fair. I would say it is, though. It's either like Cotswolds or Lake District. Gonna go Cotswolds. No, okay. It was up there. Okay, yeah, for goodness sake. I should have gone Lake District. We're still first, though. We're still first. Do you find it hard to identify what to learn next the more you progress in Geoguessr? Once you progress to a certain stage, you just have to focus on learning countries. I don't know which one this is. I don't know which one. Is it Eswatini or Lesotho? Lesotho, obviously. Could be Botswana, actually. Could just be South Africa. It was Botswana. Yeah, that's us out of first place then. Oh, no, we're still in. Okay, that's fine. I really struggle. I think the car... It looked quite hilly for Botswana. I don't know. What stream is this? Well, it's FPL. I just whistled. It's FPL, but we just start doing all sorts after the deadline, to be honest. Barcelona? Is that bait? I think that's bait. I think that's bait. Is this Bolivia? Oh my god, I don't know. Oh god, I've dropped into second. I almost got baited by the Barcelona team bus. I was like, this doesn't look like Barcelona. It wasn't. It was Bolivia, but I got the wrong one. Okay, I went La Paz. I should have just guessed. Yeah, that's fine. Should have middle plonked it. Right, final one. Let's see if we can clutch up first. How many points behind are we? Okay, we can do this. 300 points. What on earth am I looking at here? I don't know if this is North America or like Finland. No! No, it's so much further south than I thought. Oh, we didn't clutch up. Fair play to Torp. Torp, you did well. I respect it. I respect it very much. Right, guys, I'll leave it there. I appreciate you all being here very much. Let me go full screen to say goodbye to your faces. There we go. Hello. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out my Geoguessr channel here, linked in the chat. Go, feel free to watch some of that content. I will catch you tomorrow for a transfer plans video and where we will discuss Krupi's hat trick in that video. So thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.